Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Lou. I'm joined by co-host Alex Wong. You're listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. What's going on, Alex? I see the two of us have both chosen to represent Toronto sporting teams that are not actually the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, well, one of us decided to be a loser and put on a
Oh,
cheesesteak October
the
shirt.
Lolo take October?
Yo,
Don't you
Jason?
remember we took October?
Yeah, we sure took October by 2 days. No, the
Grand
Jays haven't
opening,
won
grand
a.
closing.
Yeah, damn. Is that referencing Sinners? So yeah, no, go Leafs, go. They're up 3-0. Things are looking nice right now. Also, I was wondering why don't you think naming a hockey team Senators is the funniest thing ever? Why is a sports team named the Senators? This is like if the Washington Wizards were like the Washington presidents or something.
No, but I mean, I suppose that they're the Capitals. Like, this is like,
So why are you naming it after the government, man?
yeah, well, I mean, there is an inextricable tie between like politics and sports. I think sometimes you just don't see it in this specific fashion
Well, I
when they're
think
named after politicians. But like, there's like the Sixers logo. It's like, or like Ben Franklin is just like fully in the Sixers logo dribbling a basketball.
well, I
You
think
know,
when it comes to sports names, I think people should stick to sports. Yeah. We should not
wow.
blend sports and politics when it comes to sports names. So
This guy
come
told
in.
the Senators to shut up and dribble.
Yeah. Come in hot. No, but yeah, happy Friday to everybody.
We made
It's
it.
a great weekend. The only thing better than the first weekend of the playoffs, I think, is the second weekend of the playoffs. Cause
Okay.
no, because
Who says that?
the series are rolling, and
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of interesting matchups this weekend. No, don't you think? If you were to rank, I mean, game sevens, I guess you would put as number one, but game threes and game fours are probably the best. But then 5 and 6 are pretty good too. You know what? Forget my theory.
What? I was like, where are you going with this?
I was
man?
running with the theory that game threes are the best games in a 7 game series.
If you had to rank the best games in a 7-game series,
Seven,
how would it
six,
go?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, but game threes are super interesting though. Even
for
when
sure. It's
whether
pivotal,
it's
yeah.
1-1 or 2-0,
Mm-hmm.
because even like we saw with Memphis yesterday, like going back home, and we'll talk about Milwaukee as well, going back home down 2-0 and stuff. There's a lot of interesting things that can happen, but yeah, I think the big story from last night is the Clippers
Yep.
blowing out the Denver Nuggets. We the Wall, first playoff game at the Intuit Dome, and we saw a very frustrated Denver squad. I don't know if you saw Nikola Jokic.
Yo, he was crashing out, man.
Crashing out, trying to coach the team.
Yeah.
What happened? I don't care about basketball. I just want to go back to my horses.
Oh, well.
Turns out when things are bad, you actually care. Sorry, I don't know why I'm slandering Jokic today.
It's okay.
But
It's a playoffs, man.
are the Nuggets in trouble, my brother?
The Nuggets been in trouble, man. I think that, like, we can't ignore the problems that this team had all year. They fire both their head coach and their general manager, a week and a half before the playoffs start. You even watch when Jokic is crashing out on the side. It looks like he's coaching the team.
Mm-hmm.
David Adelman, I don't know. There's just nothing necessarily commanding about his presence. It's the same way I feel about Thomas Isalo for the Denver or for the Memphis Grizzlies. Like every time they pan over to him,
It's Tuamas.
Tuamas. Sorry, yeah, Tuamas is just standing there, like kind of like nonplussed. He's just like, "Yep, I'm here." Like that's the vibe David Adelman gives me too. No, this team's got real issues, man. I mean, I think number one, like Michael Porter Jr., his shoulder looks really like messed up. I think he said it's like 30%.
Yeah.
And so
And they
the
need
Nuggets
them.
are not. They're not deep.
They can't have even one of those guys, afford to have one of those guys not operating at
Yeah,
100%. They don't have a lot of depth, like you mentioned, off the bench.
like Westbrook was banged up. Like
Yeah,
they just. It's a very quick path for the Denver Nuggets to be like suddenly you're sealing like Julian Strawther and Jalen Pickett. Like
yeah,
you're
no,
like, oh
it's
my god, that can't be next in line.
yeah, it's a summer league bench, and on the opposite side, the Clippers almost had 4 guys score 20 points last night. Kawhi, Norm, and James Harden all went over 20. And just a deeper team, man. They're bringing solid guys off the bench too.
Yo, your boy Toom.
Yeah, my boy Toom with the no dippity threes, with the no dip on the threes. Shouts to Amit Man for that one, for coining that one. Do you know
Wait.
the reference? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so he doesn't like how he catches the ball?
Yeah,
Like
he doesn't
Batum will
dip.
catch
Yeah,
it and it doesn't dip. So it's a
yeah.
no. So Ahmed Man has called it the no dippity three. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
well.
Blackstreet song, no diggity? No.
Mm.
No, you don't mess with that one.
I wasn't around. I was in China during the '90s.
Okay, okay.
They weren't saying no diggity in
This
Tianjin.
is like the Usher Burn, like the pre-Usher Burn era. Like
Oh,
Blackstreet was a big deal. Yeah. You
wait,
familiar
is
with
Blackstreet
Boys to
like?
Men?
Wait, is Blackstreet
It's
like
a group,
a?
R&B group. Yeah.
Is it like a play on
Yeah,
Backstreet?
it's not a Sinners reference. Yeah, no, it's
Wait, it's
no,
not.
no. I think Blackstreet came before Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
Yeah,
so Backstreet Boys is the white the white version of
yeah, I guess so.
Blackstreet Boys?
It's the gentrification of Blackstreet.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
Boys to Men. Brian McKnight.
I think I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian McKnight back at one.
Mm.
No,
Nah,
you're
man.
not
You got to give me
familiar with any of
Ushers,
these?
man. You got to give me Usher with songs with the letter U in it.
God
You know what I mean?
damn, man. Yeah, but
You don't
what were
have
we
to
talking
call
about?
you, remind me, etc.
Oh yeah, so Batum with the no dippity threes. I think the Clippers
Okay.
just got good vibes, man. They got rid of Kevin Porter Jr. and they got Patty Mills in.
Oh,
And the Nuggets are one Russell Westbrook miracle away from being
yeah.
down 3-0 in this series, if you want to look at it that way.
Well, the two of us both picked the Nuggets to lose this series. Like you picked the Clippers in 6. I picked the Clippers in 5.
Could happen.
I think a couple of things I'm really noticing this series. Number one, this has been one of the most impressive James Harden series for me, especially given his age and like where he's at in his career. But I thought the pick and roll would be a distinct advantage in favor of the LA Clippers. I feel like you're just watching Jokic a lot over the years.
Bob Myers. Yeah.
No, it just feels like over the years, like he has not really been like a great pick and roll defender. I would say like maybe average, but at the same time, James Harden's one of the best pick and roll operators ever. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I had some reservations about James going to the playoffs. James has been great, not just with the pull up threes, which we know, not with the passing, which is always good for him, but he is driving the ball, I feel like, better than I've seen him drive the ball in like 7 or 8 years. Like he is always getting into the paint. And then that floater's been there for him. He's getting to the rim directly a lot of the times as well. That was what happened at the start of game 1 and gave the Clippers the early lead. Eventually, the Nuggets just kind of schemed their way out of it. They sort of like played some junk defense, ignored certain shooters. You can kind of do that for a while, but like I thought yesterday, like even just watching the start of that game, the Nuggets opened the game in a zone, and I'm just like, damn, you guys basically said, well, we can't guard you. Like right away, we said we can't guard you. You know what I mean? Like forget adjusting to a zone. They just started with that right away, and I feel like James has done a great job. Kawhi is Kawhi, you know what I mean? Like he's been. I mean, game 2 was still so sensational, but I think the key for them has been Norm. If you notice at the end of game 2, it was Norm who like really woke up. I feel like Jamal Murray picking up Norm by one hand and then dropping him, like just hard reset, factory reset Norman Powell. But like Norm was great in the fourth quarter. He did that big 3. He had that drive and dump off to Zubac for the and 1 in game 2. He had the floater going as well. And then this one, Norm was just super confident, like that like pole vault like 3 that he does. Driving to the basket, attacking in transition, that secondary playmaker coming off of curls. Like once the Clippers have that going, there is nothing of that element coming from the Nuggets. Like, Jokic is going to be pretty good. You know that Jamal Murray is going to be pretty good. But like, who is that third guy that's going to come in and like really contribute? And I think in this case, like, I mean, this one was just a blowout. Like Chris Dunn was knocking down threes. They've been ignoring Chris Dunn all series. That's always huge. And then, yeah, I mean, everyone was just knocking down threes, man. I mean, they still haven't even gotten Bogdanovich going yet. Like the Clippers are just a better team than the Nuggets are right now. The Nuggets have zero depth, and they don't have a lot of like. I just don't feel like the chemistry is strong there either. Like they look ready to break, and
Well,
last night they just were not competitive the whole time.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say if you fire your head coach and GM a week before the playoffs, like there's probably more to be solved than that, right? Like that wasn't gonna solve everything. Like it was pretty dire, I think, in that locker room and with that team,
Yeah.
like heading into the playoffs. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that, of them just kind of coming apart. Like I've never seen Jokic this like visibly frustrated
Right.
at his own team. I mean, having said all that, if they do win game 4, they still have home court. But I think right now the Clippers have a clear advantage. They're
What do
just
they need to
clearly the
do?
better team. They're
Is there
clearly
any
the better team.
like what do the Nuggets need to do? Like, is there like an X factor that they can surprise?
I don't
people with?
know. I think at this point, like even if Jokic had a triple double last night, and even if he has a monster game, like I think, like you said, they just don't have enough guys. Like
There's just
who
not a
are
lot of
who?
defensive
Yeah,
stability. Like they need
yeah.
Jokic to defend every play, and then they need to direct every play on offense. Like he's that meme of like the director, producer, actor, writer,
Oh yeah,
like gaffer. Like he got every title on his desk right now,
yeah,
and that's when you start snapping at work is when you have way too much to do.
yeah. No, I hear you, man. It's like the time you snapped at our dear friend Arun covering the Leafs in Ottawa at Popeyes. What more do you want me to do, man? Do React Pod, 10 things,
Run it back.
CMS, yeah. Run it back just to get Alex a bag.
I got nothing more in me, man.
Yeah. So also, I'm sure you saw because the Clippers have the famous wall with their diehard fans, and they handed out horses' heads
Right.
yesterday as a way to distract Nikola Jokic. Do
I
you
fuck with
think?
this.
Yeah. Do you think that was a cool strategy by the Clippers?
You know, I think actually, for some reason, my mind is going to the financial aspect of it. Like a lot of teams, like just like skimp out on the playoff stuff. Like you notice that, like even playoff
Here's
shirts.
another towel. Here's a take October tee. No, shout
Yo.
out to the Jays. Shout out to the Jays, man.
Yo, shouts
Please,
to the Jays,
Alicon, I
man.
love you, bro. Yeah,
Yo, give me more Take October towels.
please.
But like you're seeing that like cheap little microfiber towel that they're handing out. Sometimes they
Yeah.
don't even hand out tees no more. You know, what I mean, what happened to like prioritizing the in-game experience? Like, you know, these tickets are not cheap. You know, it's like a premium game. You know, it's the playoffs. Like, go all out. And I feel like the Clippers, like, say what you want about them, but they spare no expense. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, for this wall gimmick. First off, we're gonna build a whole arena with this wall in mind, and then to support the wall gimmick, we're gonna actually just like put together the horse heads. It kind of looked like that scene in Godfather, but like a cartoon version, the
looks
Studio
like
Ghibli version of the
It
horse
looked like
head
a
waking up.
bunch of dead BoJack horsemen, man.
Yeah, it was BoJack Horseman night. I kind of
It was kind of creepy. No, but I'm totally with you. Like this is
Yeah.
this is Steve Ballmer, right? Like we had a chance to visit the Intuit Dome, and like having had 3 plates of fried chicken, collard greens, and ice cream and popcorn there too.
You
Like
had
seeing the
7,
way
man.
seeing the way they set up. Yeah, they call me 7. I'm the Gabe Vincent of the Clippers media room. But like the Intuit Dome is beautiful, and like there's like no expenses were spared. And I
Yeah.
think we know Ballmer's net worth and stuff, and he's pouring money into the team. He's the new age Mark Cuban, man. Remember when Cuban
Yeah.
came in and he like installed TVs in everyone's locker rooms and stuff? Like it was a huge deal. It was a huge deal at the time. But
I mean, honestly, even some of the visiting locker rooms now, they still look pretty horrible. Like
Yeah.
I think the worst visiting locker room I've been in around the league, and I haven't visited that many other teams, but the Sixers locker room is like Wells Fargo's an old building anyway. Like it might be one of the old, like the Scotiabank Arena is already pretty old, but they've renovated it a few times, and like
Yeah.
the visitors locker room in Scotiabank is actually pretty average. I would even say good.
yeah, it's roomy. Yeah.
The Sixers visiting locker room, like where the Raptors obviously got to go get dressed in, is like what you would see at Lamport or what you would see at your average like go pickup run. Like
Right.
it is like there are no amenities in there. There's
Yeah.
there's barely a TV. There's
Yeah.
room for like just one whiteboard in the middle. Everyone's bags are so like like they're so cluttered that you have to like walk a maze basically to go talk to whoever. So yeah, Sixers might be the brokest team, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad. Like I do feel bad in a way for Nikola in the sense that like it doesn't feel like he has enough pieces for him to like sort of compete with.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I think the Clippers, they've done a good job of like finding these guys. I mean, like getting Batum back, getting Derek Jones Jr. Like Chris Dunn is like anyone could have had Chris Dunn. Like the Nuggets could have had Chris Dunn. Like Chris Dunn is like a maniac out there. Like the way he's like sprinting around and he's diving for balls and he just seems to move like 20% faster than everyone else. Like he's just like a ninja. He just like appears and then like steals the ball. And I feel like every series that are up right now, like there's always one guy where you have that sort of like profile, like that, like do it all surprise X factor on defense. It's the same thing Caruso. I was watching the other game. I was like watching both games at once actually. And on one screen, it's like Chris Dunn, making all these plays. Another screen, it's like Alex Caruso. Maybe the two of them scored probably a combined like 15 points last night. Maybe not even that. But like those are the kind of guys you need to win at these sort of like environments.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Lawrence Frank should win Exec of the Year. I think.
Okay.
I think just
Come
for
on now.
just for saying
We're
no,
pushing it.
just for saying no to Paul George as well. like sometimes it is like the addition by subtraction move, right? Like not locking yourself into Paul George. Like I'm sure they studied like the analytics and they've seen Paul George and they made a decision to not pay him that money, right?
Right.
And I think that was a clear right decision as well. So yeah, I'm a Lawrence Frank stan. Let's go Clippers. We the wall, baby. By the way, you mentioned the microfiber towels. So, as you know, like I snatched about 30 All-Star Weekend microfiber towels when we were in San Francisco.
Yeah, we're gonna give some away or something.
Yeah, as a way to just hand it out as like a like a gift to like friends,
Your family.
Yeah, family and stuff. So I actually offered one to Enes Esmer, friend of the program. And yeah, he rejected it because he's like, yeah, I don't like the microfiber stuff. It's not good for me. Like it's really rough on his skin or something. So
Describe this. We were at All Star in February, and apparently, usually at All Star, what they'll do is they'll organize like a media hospitality event, and so it's like you guys go, and it's like a party, and there's some food, and in this case, like it seemed like a huge activation. What up, Jerome? And there was like 2K, there were drinks, whatever. But there was just the one thing was there was just nobody there. Like I would say,
hey, Randy Irvin was there. Come on now.
Yeah, it also was the biggest
50 people
venue.
there total.
It was
Yeah, it was like in
the
a
largest...
warehouse, right, Jerome? Would you just like it's like a it was like a warehouse.
It's like a pier. It's like a literal pier. One of the
like
many piers in San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was maybe because Alex and I have been to how many All Stars at this point?
I don't want to brag, but like 6 or 7.
Sure.
Oh, okay. All right, Joe. All right, Joe Johnson.
I would say in terms of like the amount of hospitalities, you could fit like 3 previous hospitalities into this one thing. For some reason, they chose the largest possible space.
When Jerome and I, when we were in Chicago in 2020, the hospitality was like in a boardroom in the hotel.
It was like just a downstairs hotel.
Is that how COVID
boardroom.
spread?
You know what? I'm pretty sure I got COVID sitting next to Howard Beck in the Adam Silver presser, but I'm not trying to blame anybody for COVID because that's a tricky space. But yeah,
this guy was like, "What up, Beck?" And Beck was like,
"Oh my gosh,
oh no."
Yeah, but anyways, that's where the towels. There were a bunch of towels just laying there. 2024 All-Star Weekend, 2025 All-Star Weekend branded, and
yep,
grabbed a bunch.
Well, what happened was because the last day of media hospitality is always the quietest because everyone's done their partying like on the previous days. It's the end of All-Star Weekend, so whoever's there is just grabbing like a post bite or whatever. So when we're leaving, like all the things that might be activations, there's not even staff or volunteers working in them. They're just leaving stuff out there. We're heading out to our Uber. We see the stack of them. You start packing as much as possible. I see one of the volunteers walking toward us, and then and I think everyone clocks it. So I go, like, I noticed them, and I'm like, "Oh, hi, how's your evening?" And they're just like, "It's good." And when I turn back, you're both gone.
Oh yeah. We dashed out of there, man.
We fled the scene of the crime, man. Well,
I think we took like probably between the 3 of us like 27 towels.
I didn't even take any because you took enough for all of us. I was like, can you just grab some for my mom? And then you grabbed an extra like 5.
Yeah, Jerome just wanted like a regular amount.
Yeah,
anyways,
I would just want my mom.
I have lots of microfiber All-Star Weekend towels still available. So
is this what you're trying to get?
Also, why did Enes think those were for the sake of actually using?
No, like it was just a very poor gift to him. I was like, "Oh, I would love to have you for you to have this." And he's like, "Nah, man, I don't fuck with these microfiber towels."
He's like, "They don't have these at Uncle."
And then we were at like a breakfast sandwich spot, and he tried to offer it to the waitress there. She also said no.
You got a tattoo. Yeah.
She also said no to the microfiber. So the towel got rejected twice in one day. This is not even the greatest heist I've ever pulled. When I lived in New York, no big deal.
Oh man, not another Chris Rock story.
That was a past life of yours?
I was at the Nets at a Nets game, and it was Jeremy Lin bobblehead night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I can reveal it now. Like, so they handed one out to like all media members and stuff, but they were also handing them out at each entrance. So I went to 8 different
walked to
entrances.
every entrance?
Yeah, I walked out and walked in.
That's amazing.
And ended up snatching 8 of them and gifted them to like a lot of my
Yo,
like,
I was gonna
Chinese
say,
friends. I think
you
do you
gave me
have
one.
one?
You gave me
You
one.
have one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
I thought you gave me the one that you got.
Oh,
Now
hell no.
it's less special now
it's-
that I know you got 8.
It's just barely off screen, but there's like 6 of them
Oh,
over
my
there.
goodness.
There's just a gang of Jeremy Lin's.
You know, but at the time, like, not that Jeremy Lin's washed now, but you know, Lin was a big deal at the time. You know, like anything
Yeah.
Jeremy, like you just wanted to get your hands on. So
Do you
Fair
think when the PR officer like came around with the box of Jeremy Lin bobbleheads and they saw an Asian person, do you think the thought happened in his mind like, maybe I should offer some extra ones, you know? he's like
No, that's
James.
impossible.
He's like James Herbert. Here's one for you. Brian Lewis. Here's one for you. Alex Wong. How many do you want, buddy?
yeah, no, Tim Bontemps got none of those back in the day. Come on, man. Yeah, he was still covering the nets at the time.
Oh yeah, Tim Bontemps, New York Daily Post.
Yeah, now he's all glowed up. But anyways, those were my heists that I was able to pull. What else happened last night? The Memphis Grizzlies
Yes.
came back home. They were down. They were up 29 at one point, and
Yep.
were up 27 when John Morant in the first half fell really hard, hurt his hip. It was a play with Lou Dort. It wasn't a dirty
Yeah.
play.
I was gonna ask you, do you think it was a dirty play? Because
Lou Dort slipped, and then Ja was like in midair. I know Lou's developing this reputation now.
you know
of
Lou
being
Dort's the
like
reason
that?
we have Brandon Ingram.
Oh, he hurt his.
Because he got underneath
right.
Brandon Ingram, and Brandon Ingram, that's how he hurt his ankle.
I don't
and
think Lou
he
Dort's
didn't play the rest of the
dirty
season.
in this specific play. I don't think he did anything wrong because
Okay.
you can see him slipping, and then he gathers himself, and then by then he's right in front of Ja, and Ja's in midair.
His
And
hands
Ja's
are up.
Ja's a pretty reckless guy too when he's on fast breaks.
Well, okay, here's the real issue. It was a 2-on fast break, and again, like the team is up by a lot at this point, 27. It's a 2-on fast break. Scottie Pippen Jr. has the ball, and he's ahead of the pack, and Ja Morant's trailing the play. Lou Dort slips. I feel like Scottie Pippen could have just laid it up, and then none of this happens. Not to say that like I'm blaming Scottie Pippen for any of this. I think it is a
No.
pure accident, but it's like it
So-
did seem avoidable. If again, he just took the 2 points rather than the highlight.
yeah, so Ja goes out, and the Clippers come all the way back. It's the second biggest.
There was a
comeback.
31-point comeback, I think, against the Warriors.
It was Clippers against the Warriors. It was that year
Right.
with Lou Williams and Pat Bev
Yes.
in the first round, and then they got Kawhi.
So Shea was involved in 2 of the biggest playoff
Yeah,
comebacks.
damn, I didn't even put that together.
Shea was on that team too as a rookie
Yeah.
for the Clippers.
Well, so yeah, OKC comes all the way back. Caruso was amazing. Chet was really good, and yeah, I don't even like. I know the whole story is, I guess, like Ja goes out and then the Grizzlies lose, but it's like you're up like 30 at home.
Yeah.
I feel like even without Ja, like I don't think you can blame it on just Ja being out. Like that's just a terrible loss, man.
My question to you is, do you think it's worse to blow a 29-point lead and lose, or is it worse to lose by 51?
Yeah, well, damn, man, they've gone through both of them already, man. Yo, they're hitting the bingo card on every tragic loss ever.
Yo,
man.
they're having one of like I was watching this game and it was happening
Yeah.
concurrently with the other game, the Nuggets and the Clippers, but that one was a blowout, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus more on this one. And like you just knew that like the OKC Thunder would make a comeback. But
Yeah,
like
great
again,
game,
they had
great game by Jalen Williams too. Got to shout him
hey,
out.
Jalen Williams was great. Shea made a bunch of big plays as well.
Yeah.
You
Caruso
know,
down the stretch was great too.
Caruso, Lou Dort did his thing on defense.
Shea hasn't
Offensively, he
even.
only
Hey,
had
Shea
2.
hasn't even. I know he's been putting up numbers,
He's been
but he hasn't
shooting
even.
poorly, yeah.
He hasn't even been that good in this series.
Shea looks a little tired to me. I feel like when you try to chase MVP, it takes a lot out of you regular
Sure.
season wise, and then
Yeah.
you're never fresh for the playoffs. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of these MVPs have not gone on to actually win the championship.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot out of you. But I feel like, yeah, like watching it down the stretch, I just felt so bad. Like it was just sad watching it. Like if going out sad was a thing, like we would know it very well from watching the LeBronto years. Like I'm telling you, this is like as painful as that. Because you
See,
just like you have a great season or you have a good season, you go to the playoffs, and then you just like everything you think is true just comes undone. Like Desmond Bane was just like shitting his pants for the whole second half.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't think anyone's seen the reputation take a bigger hit than Jaren Jackson Jr. has in these playoffs. down the stretch in the fourth, like Candace Parker is just actively coaching because Candace obviously is a big, and Candace is calling the game as a color commentator. She's like, you have to short roll in that situation. You have to like be in the post, draw a double team. You're getting guarded by a guard, and then you got to play out of that. And like to hear her like just like, I guess, coach him through, but also point out in the process that he's making a mistake offensively on almost every trip down the floor was kind of wild to see. And it was just like she was absolutely right on the money. Like Jaren just like has gone out super sad. Scottie Pippen has been great. He had like 6 or 7 threes last night, most of them in the first half. But like he's a backup guard. Like how much more do you really expect him to do? Zach Edey ends up not covering himself in glory. There was that jump ball between him and Lou Dort where he ends up shoving Lou Dort with his off arm, even though he's 7'4" and Lou Dort is 6'4".
Hey,
it's just like
man.
nobody did well. And then Thomas Asalo was just on the sideline, like literally not saying a word. Just
He
like,
might be the new Darvin Ham. He needs to put his hands in his pockets. He might be the European Darvin Ham. Although we've only seen him for 2 weeks. Yeah, Zach Edey.
yeah, we're only
Listen,
gonna see
man.
him for 2 weeks.
Zach, there might be a CCYA event next week, and you might be available, my guy. So, shouts to you.
Zach, I'll see you at the celebrity game.
Holy. No, that was tough for Zach too. Like late in the game.
Yeah.
And then who was it who tried to hit the game tying thing? Was it John Conchar? Like, what are we doing, man?
John Conchar, aka Big Blake Murphy, with a wide open corner 3, and he held the post. He was like, "Oh,
Dog, who are these players, man? I'd rather just have Triple J shoot a 3 then, man. What are we doing, man?
I think Candace also pointed. Candace was on fire in the broadcast last night, but like she also pointed out because it was the Grizzlies were down 3 coming out of the timeout, and she like immediately saw the lineup on the floor. And she's like, "Wait, why isn't Scottie Pippen Jr. out there? He's hit 7 threes for them."
Yeah.
Like
No,
no, but
it's,
seriously, like why? I don't understand. Like I didn't give them a chance to win this series, but this felt like such an emotionally brutal loss. Like it's at home too. They blow a 29-point lead. They go down 3-0. This is their one chance to maybe make it interesting. They lose Ja in the process. It's like this is such a devastating loss that it's one of those that like you have to break up your franchise after. Like this feels like after the Raptors lost the game 3 where LeBron hit the LeBronto shot over OG. And like reportedly Masai crashed out and he's like going after Dwayne Casey like, why the fuck would you double team LeBron? You know what I mean? Like it's like this is like that level of like it's so emotionally fraught that I don't know how you come back. You can't just run it back and be like, oh, haha, like we're a good regular season team again. Like you know that this team just is not it, man. And they don't have heart, dude. That's the other thing, man. I hate seeing teams go all sad.
Is Ja gonna be on the Grizzlies opening night next season?
Ja might be the only guy that escapes this, but I feel like you have to at least swap out some of the other pieces. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm sorry. Like I see the flashes. I see the moments where he plays well. He's actually had a really good regular season, but like in the playoffs, the way he's just getting pushed around by like Chet, Alex Caruso, the way he doesn't even look like he has a game plan, I'm just like, what is this? And then Bane's good. I mean, I don't know. If they do break it up, I would be really curious to see if the Raptors get in on any of these guys because of the Darko connection, because of the fact that these guys are young and under contract. Will be kind of interesting. Like, honestly, as much as I'm slandering Jaren, he actually would be a great fit in Toronto. I take it all back if the Raptors acquired Jaren.
This is the biggest flip ever, man. This guy was just like, get ready to play for the Beijing Ducks. And now he's like, yo, he would look great next to Jakob Poeltl.
Yo, man. I love setters who can't rebound, man. Give me Bargnani again.
Man. Also, the loss last night continues the streak of the Grizzlies having not beaten a team in the West over 500 since January. So they have that as well. Let's see what else there is before we get to the 6-pack. Oh yeah, so we will touch on the Pistons Knicks as part of the 6-pack because they had a great game last night. But heading into the weekend, I think the biggest injury news is Jimmy Butler. So he got hurt in Game 2, officially a deep glute contusion. MRI showed, so he just has like a broken butt. So
he got a butt bruise. Yeah, he got a really, really big butt bruise.
Yeah, so no structural damage, and he's questionable for Game 3 tomorrow. If Jimmy misses any time in this series, can the Warriors still win this series against the Rockets?
I think the Warriors' path to winning against the Rockets without like a fully healthy Jimmy Butler would be on the defensive end, like because the I don't know. I mean, the Rockets, Şengün I believe in, and I feel like Şengün gives them real problems.
Şengün is amazing, man. I can't say I watched that much Rockets in the regular season. Like having
Yeah, but
watched
he's
them
a
more
beast.
closely here, he's
Yeah.
even the playmaking and everything. Like
Yeah,
his offensive game is so refined.
he like, I guess the comparison is people call him like baby Jokic, but he's not really like Jokic. Like he plays really physical, especially around the basket. Jokic obviously going for the flip shots and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, yeah, Şengün, it gives him real problems. I feel like even Draymond one-on-one doesn't really guard him well, and I feel like these kind of post players, the Warriors haven't encountered that many of them in their just overall run. I think the other thing though is just like who else is a guaranteed to score. Like Fred has been really off all series.
You're not betting on Jalen Green to have a repeat performance.
Yeah, Jalen Green was awesome that game, but I'm like, dog, how do you go from having like 10 points to this? And I do wonder if he can do this on the road. Offensively, I think for the Warriors, one of the issues they have is just the way the series is being officiated. It kind of does favor the Rockets because there's just a lot of grabbing and holding and like hugging Steph Curry off the ball. And it just makes it really difficult for him to get the ball back. And in which case, like, that does limit so much of the Golden State Warriors offense because no one else can really score that efficiently. Also, Kuminga got a chance to play because of Jimmy Butler's injury, and he gave the Warriors, like, quite possibly the worst 15 minutes of playoff basketball I've seen from anybody. Like, that was just, like, I mean, I think the only good thing is he knocked down 2 threes, but he missed a ton of shots, did a lot of bad stuff offensively. He just looks like a player with no confidence and no ability right now to fit into what the Warriors need. I mean, even Pat Spencer when he came in, number 61. First off, craziest jersey number of all time.
Dog, you cannot look like a baseball relief pitcher and wear a baseball relief pitcher number, man. Also, his only contribution was Tari Eason throwing a towel in his face.
That's more than what Kuminga did.
Actually, no, Pat Spencer was good. He had like 11 points in 9 minutes.
He like got to the cup a couple times. He looks
but
like
listen, man, he was playing next to Kevin Knox at the end, man.
Yo, I don't.
The garbage time players were crazy, man.
By the way, I was looking it up recently because somebody was interviewing me about a story for Shea, and I was looking it up. So Shea was on that Kentucky team with like five freshmen that all went on to the pros. I think there was like 7 NBA players total from Shea's team in Kentucky, but Shea wasn't even actually the highest drafted Kentucky player in that draft. It was Kevin Knox.
Oh wow, that's a Knicks pick, right? Was it
Yeah.
Knicks pick? Yeah.
Knicks picked him at 9. Shea won 11th to Charlotte, which they traded to OKC.
Well, I'm gonna say, Suni Lee was not going to Madison Square Garden to watch Kevin Knox. So
you don't think she was giving that Jackie Chan speech?
oh my god.
I always dreamed to square Madden.
Yeah, but Warriors feel to me if they don't have Jimmy Butler, like they feel to me like the Nuggets in that they just don't have enough guys. Doesn't feel like they have enough guys going against this young Rockets team. And I get your concern about the Rockets, but like they can turn these games into rock fights, and I think they can win those. And Draymond is on Draymond watch.
Can they get any scoring from Draymond?
Well,
I think Draymond has like 5 points total right now through 2 games. And I know it's just Draymond. I'm not expecting him to like, be a consistent scorer, but like
Yeah.
Come on, man.
This is the gift and the curse of Draymond is like when he does hit a 3, it's the most backbreaking 3 in the NBA.
yeah. That's exactly what it feels like.
Like it makes the other team just completely crash out.
Yeah.
So no, but listen,
Draymond, by the way, he has 12 points.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen him hit a couple threes, but like he's on pace to crash out. And yeah, I don't know. Game 3. That's why Game 3 is the best game out of a best of 7 series. I'm really interested. No, I'm really interested in this Game 3 because, like you said, all these things like how will the Rockets play on the road as well, right? Like their most experienced guy, well, besides Fred, is Ime Udoka, man.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the funniest thing watching the series too is watching Rockets fans and Warriors fans like fight each other on the timeline like nonstop.
Yeah. Well, they go back, right? Like I think what did they play like 4 out of 5 years during the Harden era? And the Warriors won every time.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they're fight each other every day. Like the number one question on the timeline right now is, was Amen Thompson dirty for undercutting Jimmy Butler?
That was also not a dirty play. Yeah.
Okay.
No, like that was not a dirty play. Yeah.
How would you give me the blame pie for that situation?
There's zero blame pie. It's just a basketball play. Guys go up in the air and they fall. Like it's like physicality in the playoffs.
So hold on.
No, man. You
don't want to make a blame pie? No, I don't have the play. I don't have the play.
Oh,
but we've all seen it by now. right? Jimmy Butler's going out for a rebound. And
Kuminga is interesting too because he's going to restricted free agency. I really don't know how you value a guy like that.
I mean, I just feel like he's done there. Like he clearly has talent, he clearly has ability, but the fact that he can't find a role on a winning team is really concerning to me.
He didn't play in game 82 when they needed to win.
He didn't play in the play-in against the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and he's only playing here because Jimmy got hurt.
Yeah.
And
then he looks worse than Pat Spencer. Like that,
no, I know
he doesn't get worse than this.
Yeah,
man.
I believe he's done in Golden State, but I just wonder, like, is a team actually going to give him like a legitimate, like, long-term contract just based on his potential? Like, I wouldn't want to commit like $20 million a year to him.
The theory with Jonathan Kuminga, I think, in terms of like what he is as a player, I could totally see teams like buying into that idea, right? Like, because he's number one, he's proven that he can score in the NBA. You know, last season he averaged 16, this year averaged 15. He has done it not inefficiently. Like, he's over his career, he's at 51% shooting from the field. He's not a very reliable 3-point shooter, but it's not like he can't knock down a three. He's not a particularly good free throw shooter, but the physicality does get him there. My issue with him watching it is just like, it's not even about the numbers. It's like he doesn't really have a good game sense. He doesn't really decide like when to take over, when's the right moment to attack, when's the right shot to take, in which moment. And I feel like, especially in he probably play a lot better in an isolation system. Like, he would play a lot better in the Rockets than he would play for the Warriors. The Warriors make you make a lot of decisions, and that's why they prioritize really, you know, smart players who can like process the game really quickly. And maybe they're not the most athletic, maybe they're not the most dominant scorers, but they can think the game faster. Kuminga is just not that. Like, he's almost like the antithesis of what the Warriors are about. Defensively, I feel like there's probably an upside there that has never been tapped. But like, I mean, honestly, it's crazy. Like, you know, there was like Fred VanVleet blew past him just like one-on-one.
Yeah,
it's like, how's that happening right now? You know what I mean? Like, you're so athletic. So I would not like to see Kuminga on the Raptors. I know Samson Folk, actually, I was listening to a pod that he did yesterday. You know, he's been pushing for Kuminga. I don't agree. I really don't think that that's a good fit here in Toronto.
Yeah, no, me neither. But
we already have RJ. RJ does everything that you would need Kuminga to do, but at a higher level.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I feel good about my Houston pick after 2 games. I feel like the Rockets have a good chance to win this series. All right, we're going to pivot to our first playoff edition of the 6-pack.
Let's go.
I know that, you know, during the regular season when we were doing them on the post-game show, we involved our favorite rapper Mandy Mayhem a lot, but for the playoffs, we're gonna level up and actually, you know, bring some real music to this. So, Jerome, if you can play the clip.
Oh God.
Lakers over Wolves, I think they take it in 6. JJ's ridiculous season isn't over just yet. In a way that ain't been shooting, he could go for some rounds. But I later made the trade, LeBron like, look at me now. Then it's Memphis, OKC, I'll take the Thunder in 5. That boy Shadow made a name, they used to think he was shy. And the Clippers out in Denver, I'ma go with Kawhi. It's hard enough to lose a coach, them chicken nuggets are dry. Warriors and Rockets give me Golden State in 7. Jimmy been my homie, playoff Jimmy been a legend. Cleveland and Miami think the Cavs about to sweep. And it's hard to be a hero, Spider-Man or hand of heat. Knicks over Pistons, this is different. Kate and Jalen think it might just go the distance. At the Garden, it's a changing of the guards. Detroit got a lot of talent, New York got a lot of heart. Pacers and the Bucks, ain't much to discuss. Giannis came to play, but without Damian it's tough. Celtics over Magic, takes some 5 to get it done. Boston climbing up the Tatum pole to hang another one. Sheesh.
Okay, what's up with this recent trend of just people making songs about the NBA? Because this is actually kind of nice, though.
This is a legit artist, Breland, R&B artist, I think signed to Atlantic Records.
Okay.
And yes, this was sent to me by one of our listeners, Karen. Shouts for sending that to me.
That's kind of fire.
Yeah, no, this was actually fire, man.
Yeah. This actually, I feel like they were like almost the exact same picks I made. Even the games I picked. So
I want him to sing about like campaign or something.
Well, no, there's like songs about like I mean the LeBron like
Yeah,
like
right.
LeBron made a whole genre, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. That's when I feel old, man. Like I don't understand how these trends take off.
Wait, you guys were making mixtapes about Patrick Ewing back in the 90s?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I definitely have a collection of songs as my rapper name Recession.
You weren't rapping about Sonny
Lots of-
Weems and
Lots of problematic
James
lyrics though.
Johnson?
John, don't leak those, man. Please.
Yo, I know you were saying some crazy
Please,
things.
I know,
out there.
I know they on Z Share and Mega Upload, man.
Oh no, Mega Upload. Oh my god.
Yo, what you
man.
know about Mega Upload, bro?
Yo, can I find Recession tracks on Napster?
No,
can I
no,
find
no,
them on LimeWire, man?
Everything has been cleaned up, man.
Yo, how many cedars are on those songs, man?
Oh man. When you used to download just whole like seasons of shows, and when the seeding hit, woo!
Yo, I still do that.
Oh yeah, damn man, come on,
Yeah,
bro.
I have
You don't need to live
the.
like this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just like when we went to China, and I was like, I don't know if I'll have Netflix on all the time. So, and it was a 16-hour flight there and back.
Yeah.
So I did download all 7 seasons of Mad Men.
Damn. Yo, serious question though: is Netflix allowed in China?
I mean, VPNs are everywhere, man. Just use a VPN.
But
bro.
like, there's no Netflix China.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not to get political, you know, trying to
Not-
stick to sports here.
Don't worry, China's
speaking-
got lots of other shit. Or
Speaking of politics,
you heard of
so-
Trudeau? Not Justin, but Trudeau.
What? Tudo? First up on the 6-pack, speaking of politicians, so
Yep.
Nico Harrison held his season-ending presser this week, and also Tim McMahon at ESPN wrote a huge article going behind the scenes of the breakdown between the relationship of Nico and Luka going back to last season. So couple clips here to start. So the first question Nico was asked in the presser was why he shouldn't be fired.
That was the first question.
and here's his answer.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
Well, one, I think I've done a really good job here, and I don't think I can be judged by the injuries this year. You have to judge from totality, from beginning to end, and so
They got him on trial at the
I
Hague.
think I have a really good working relationship with Patrick. I think you add in Rick, the leadership that we have is really elite, and you'll see next year when our team comes back, we're going to be competing for a championship.
Yo,
if
this is-
Masai has 100% aura at press conferences, this is like negative 100. man.
Also, for someone who like murdered a franchise, his voice is too high pitched.
He's like, guys. I think
Also,
I've done a
this
good job here.
this
Please
was
don't fire
me. This was me
Please.
doing my end of season interview at Sportsnet after season 2.
They're like, we'll get you whatever guest you want.
They're like, yo, why
you want
should
Stephen
you-
A. Smith on this show? You want Stephen A. Smith talking to Will? You want Brian Windhorst
No,
talking
they're
to
like-
Will? Let's
they're
make it happen.
They're like, why shouldn't you be fired? Like, I think I've done a good job.
Next season, you'll see when we have
So-
Blake Murphy, it's gonna be different.
Nico also, revealed that he didn't have a good sense of Luka's relationship with the city of Dallas. Here's what he also said in the presser.
Oh yeah.
Know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level, but really the way we looked at it is, if you're putting a team on the floor that's Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Anthony Davis, and Lively, we feel that's a championship caliber team, and we
You
would have
had
been
one.
winning at a high level, and that would have quieted some of the outrage. And so unfortunately we weren't able to do that, so it just continued to go on and on.
This guy's standing on business on his AD and Kyrie team is so funny to me.
Well, there's
But
nothing
you gotta.
can
It's
really
like
say.
what Slim Charles said in the Wire. It's like if it's a lie, we're gonna stand on that lie.
Yeah.
And that's what Nico has to do. Like
Yeah, but Slim Charles had stage presence, man. Nico Harrison will be like if Poots at that.
if you were Nico, like, does it benefit you at all? You think to come out and just be like, yeah, maybe we made a mistake here.
What I don't understand is why did he do a closed door, no recording press conference in the week of the play-in tournament and then lose the play-in tournament and then do an on-camera like regular style press conference? Like, why did you do 2 of these?
Yeah, so I've been on Mavs Reddit like 24 hours a day. So
Okay,
apparently the closed door press conference was Patrick Dumont's idea, because Patrick Dumont was like, the fans are really angry.
Oh my God!
You
Don't
should
make me pull up that
speak-
picture of Patrick Dumont again, man.
You should speak to the media. So I think it's funny because like they're like 3 months late to realizing that this is a disaster. Because I think Patrick Dumont is like just realizing that's the case. And in Tim McMahon's article at ESPN, which everyone can go read.
It's great, man. Tim did a great job with this.
There's a lot of details about just Nico getting rid of a lot of Luka's guys, especially with like just going back to a couple seasons, but also Tim McMahon and Mark Stein both reported that Nico actually wanted to trade Luka last summer, but the fact that they made the finals actually got in the way of that. So if they had not made the finals, he was probably going to explore a deal in last summer for Luka. And it was reported by Tim Cato that when Jason Kidd found out about the trade, he resented Nico Harrison for making this deal.
Easy to say that now.
Yeah. And yeah, no, Nico got rid of all of Luka's guys and phased out Dirk Nowitzki as well. And Dirk's not been happy with the organization. And Stephen A. Smith also reported that it was Nico who went to Patrick Dumont and pitched the idea of trading Luka.
Right.
So this was all Nico's plot, and this was just an ego thing. He did not get along with Luka. He thought he was out of shape all the time. All of this stuff.
I keep coming back to like a couple things. I think, look, just because we're used to, especially now professional sports, like they're managed a lot better than on average, I would say, than like 20 years ago when teams were just doing anything. They were doing crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the NBA, like you used to have like Ted Stepien, the owner of the Cavs, like just like straight up like trading every draft pick.
Name dropping Ted Stepien.
Yeah, like Robert Sarver was just straight up selling first round picks during the Steve Nash era. They were like, hey, if you give me $2 million, we'll give you a first round pick. Like that'd be insane nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, like people were making like crazy lopsided trades. You know, like it was just totally different back then. Generally speaking now, like you could at least relatively understand, okay, this is why this team did this is why teams did this. You know what I mean? Like you understand. It's pretty rare. Like this is one of those throwback trades. Like it's just straight up incompetence. Like for him to just say that like I didn't know how important Luka was, it's like that's half your job is to like understand like what you're serving to your customer, right? Like you can't just be so arrogant about building the project that you want to build in your mind that you ignore what this whole project is about, which is satisfying fans. Like I don't think there was any circumstance in which Mavericks fans would have wanted to see Luka gone. And, you know, his arrogance of like, I think this is a better way to build a team, let alone that's not a better way to build a team because that team's old. That team's on the verge of free agency. I mean, you know, Kyrie showing up courtside of the Clippers game. I thought that was interesting too. He's a free agent. We'll see if he extends in this mess. But like, yeah, like it's just arrogant, you know, more than anything else. And I think it's just straight up incompetent. I think how famous do you think Nico Harrison is among GMs nowadays in the NBA? Like he's got to be like top 3 most famous exec in basketball now. I mean, famous for the wrong reason, but still famous.
Well, he's going to go down in history along with some of these other guys that you mentioned, like these infamous owners and infamous
like he's going to be like the
GMs.
Billy King making the trade with like the Nets and getting KG and
But
Paul
100
Pierce.
times, but like 100 times worse, I would argue. Like this is the
Right.
worst trade, and what he did was like he just broke the trust between like the team and the fans, and you just can't get that back.
Right.
Like to the point where I feel like not only does he have to go, like I feel like they need to change ownership. Like, no, but this is super damaging.
They're changing everything.
No, they have to like start over. Like I think it's that
they just
bad.
changed ownership though.
I
Like,
know, but
can Mark
Adam-
Cuban buy the team back? Like,
Adam Silver's got to step in, man.
Yeah.
Like Adam, like you got to do something, man.
Adam Silver's like, I'm good, man. I just made the
Yeah.
Lakers relevant
Adam's
for
like,
another
what
decade.
if we have a tournament and play for Luka? Yeah, like,
Yo, that actually will be kind of fire.
imagine if there's a play-in for Luka. They just hang Luka in a cage at the top
This
of
Squid
the
Game
Staples
style.
Center. Oh my god,
They're like red light, green light, but then you win Luka at the end.
man. Jerome, don't worry, man. I'm gonna stay on air and cop these shirts for you. Next up. Oh, by the way, one more connection with this Nico Harrison thing. This is for the visual, for the YouTubers, but we'll explain it after. Here's a video of our dear old friend chatting with Nico Harrison.
Oh my God! Don't do this to him. Oh no!
Get Nico in the back. Boo! Fire Nico! Fire Nico!
So for those just listening, that is a former Raptor. What was Tim Chung's official role here? Do you remember?
I think he was like an executive assistant to Masai.
Okay.
Personally.
So former Raptor front office member Tim Chung, who has since moved on to
he runs operations for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, runs operations
promotion,
for the Grizzlies, and spotted courtside
Oh,
talking
man.
to the evil villain Nico Harrison.
What's a panda bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
God damn it, man! God
Oh, we
damn
love
it.
you, Tim.
That's
We love you,
that's-
Tim.
That's what I thought when that Asian couple showed up in Sinners.
What's a
What's an Asian couple doing in the Mississippi Delta? I wasn't familiar
Yeah.
with the history.
Shouts to
Yeah,
Tim.
so
Tim's
Tim-
actually genuinely one of the nicest guys, man.
Tim-
Super
Tim-
service in the community, too,
Yeah.
man. He always did great things for the community.
Yeah, I'm sure Johnson from CCYA. I hope he's listening. Please send this along to Tim Chung.
Yo,
Tim
the
was-
fact that we have to defend Tim Chung for just talking to Nico.
No, Tim,
is
you've been
nuts.
exposed. You are our new Nico Harrison insider. I want to know what you guys talked about, man. Also, I forgot to mention this during the Grizzlies segment. Like, they don't deserve to win because they're wearing the Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys.
Yo, that's right. Grizzlies, take that shit off, man.
No, like if you're a basketball fan from Vancouver, how upset would you be? Like just watching the Grizzlies.
You're not only did you lose the team to them, then you got to watch them lose by 51 with the Vancouver Grizzlies, and then you got to watch them blow a 29-point lead in the Vancouver Grizzlies. Like, take that shit off, man. Like,
That series is literally Vancouver Grizzlies versus the Seattle Supersonics.
yeah, that should be
like-
an amazing Pacific Northwest battle.
That's
Instead, it's
insane.
just like a crazy lopsided sweep, man.
Yeah.
But seriously, take that shit off, man. You don't deserve it.
By the way, I'm in on Jalen Williams, not because of his on court performance, but because after the game yesterday, Mark Dagno was asked about Jalen Williams and he called him Dub instead of J Dub, and I thought that was a really cool nickname. So,
Just Dub?
yeah, he's like, yeah, man, Dub was huge for us. I was like, yo, damn, that's kind of hard.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in on Dub. Yeah,
All right.
the non-Asian Dub.
He
Also,
is pretty sick. He's like
also
kind of
can-
like their Jaylen Brown, basically.
Can the Asian Jalen Williams stop standing in the back of every post-game interview? I can't stop laughing at him.
Yeah, no, he's there to aura farm. Like, it's actually kind of incredible.
I'm sick of him and Nick Gallo, man.
There's like 18 different like OKC Thunder players, and then there was just like Dennis Scott being like,
Fucking-
"Yo, Chet, man, you had 23 points in the second half. How good did that feel?"
Fucking Gallo and welcome over there. Second on the six-pack, GM news. The Milwaukee Bucks signed general manager John Horst, who famously handed Drew Holiday to the Celtics for a championship, traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. What other crimes has he committed? To an extension, multi-year extension. If you had to choose between being the GM of the Bucks, the Suns, or the Sixers, who would you rather be right now? So Bucks got Giannis potentially wanting to ask out and a terrible roster. Phoenix has to deal with a Kevin Durant trade request and no picks until I'm 60 years old. And the Sixers have Joel Embiid and Paul George on huge contracts.
That's a great question. Honestly, I think out of all of them, I'd probably take the Milwaukee job.
Really? Explain your case.
Well, first off, as you can tell, it doesn't take much to get job security in Milwaukee. I feel like they gave John Horst the extension similar to how the Raptors gave Darko that contract option picked up at the start of the season. Before anything happened, they were like, Darko, you're in for a rough time. Here's an extra guarantee just to make sure that you're okay. Like, this is a courtesy, like, hey, man, you're about to take a lot of shit for trading Giannis. Let's give you that contract extension right now, and then you can go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Like, that they have a busy summer ahead of them. I feel like the Bucks, if I'm Giannis, if I'm, like, just ration about the situation, like, there's nothing more that Giannis owns, like, to the Bucks. Like, he's done everything for them. He's broken so many franchise records in a team that had Oscar Robertson and Lou Alcindor. Like it's unbelievable what Giannis has done there. He's brought them their championship, the first one in like 50 years. He's represented the city well. He's shown loyalty. He's like signed multiple contracts there. I mean, they've also given them Thanasis, so I guess there was a bit of a two-way reciprocity. But ultimately, Giannis, if he has any ambitions for the rest of his career, needs to find a way to leave that organization. And it should be something where it's handled with the ultimate respect. Like, he puts in a formal trade request. The Bucks say, you know what, we accept that. We're going to work to put you in the right situation that works for us too, but also like really treat a franchise legend, arguably the greatest player they've ever had, and get him to a destination. And I feel like that's where, for me, it's like, the Bucks have to replenish what they have. The Bucks have to replenish. They got to get Giannis to a good situation. They probably need to trade Dame as well because there's really no reason for Dame to be there if Giannis is not there. Find a way to, I guess, say goodbye to some of the older guys. Like they're just due. Like they're just done. Like they have nothing else left. I mean, like when like their whole roster smacks of desperation. It's like, you have Doc Rivers as your head coach. You have Kyle Kuzma on your roster on purpose. You have Kevin Porter Jr. running everything in your second unit. You have Gary Trent Jr. fighting Pascal Siakam every game for some reason. I don't understand what was happening there. Did Gary not feed off of Pascal kickouts for like a solid 4 years? So like they're just done, man. Like all they're gonna do if they keep this roster together is cycle through more minimum signings that don't pan out, and seeing guys like walk out the door. And for me, it's just like, that's why you give John Horst that extension to say, at least like, we know you got to do a hard thing. At least we'll give you an extension to do it. Like it's only fair. It really is only fair.
Yeah.
And those other two organizations are trash. Did you get the t-shirts yet? I was trying to buy you some time.
Oh, no. We're good, man. I'm a king of multitasking.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with whatever you said in the last 3 minutes. Next
I was
up,
trying to ramble so you're gonna have time to buy the tees.
yeah, I don't know what you were talking about. The next up, the Athletic had their annual anonymous NBA player poll, where they spoke to 158 players across all 30 teams. Have you seen the results of this? Mm-hmm. Oh, you have? Okay, so I can't even make you guess. So
I mean, no, I don't memorize the results, man. I don't
why
do
not,
it.
man?
I don't care that much about an anonymous player poll.
Why? I love these. 5 years from now, who will be the face of the league? No surprise here. Wemby was at 54%. Anthony Edwards came in second. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was third.
No Cooper Flag? I guess he's not in the league.
Yeah, I
yet,
guess
so
he's
you can't
not
really
like
go for him.
eligible. Most overrated player. This was one that picked up most traction this week. Tyrese Halliburton came in first at 14%. Rudy Gobert was second, followed by Trae Young. What do you think about those top three as overrated?
Halliburton did get a pretty significant push. I feel like the way he finished the second half of last season, obviously he was due to injury, but like, he was lucky to make the All-NBA team. Then he makes the Olympic team, doesn't even play. I feel like those things really do hurt your value. It's not to say that you're overrated is a bad thing. Like, overrated just means that people think more highly of you than what your actual abilities are, but that doesn't comment exactly on what your actual abilities are. Like, Halliburton's an amazing player, and you're seeing that for a lot of this season. Halliburton actually, he's been great this season, especially after that slow start. He's been really strong in the last, basically 3-4 months, and he continues to play well in the playoffs. He's not like a playoff choker either. It's not even one of those scenarios. So I don't know. Maybe it's just people find him annoying to some degree.
I think that's what it is. It's just like, I think the Pacers to some people have like a front runner, like people see them as front runners, and like the way that Halliburton plays too, right? Like he will taunt players. Like you've seen him go back and forth with Dame and things like that, right?
But he ultimately plays the right way. Like more than anything else, like that's the one thing about Halliburton is like he's an amazing playmaker. He makes the players around him better. I feel like that's like the whole fundamental basis of what the Pacers' success has been, is like guys making the right plays and sharing the ball and doing a great job with that. And he is a very unselfish, he wouldn't say he's a superstar, but like he's a very unselfish star. He doesn't really hunt for stats. Like I really don't really see why people would actually have that much of an agenda against Halliburton, other than he's just maybe corny a little bit and a little annoying.
Yeah.
And also he got that one rap song, what the hell, what the hell he burnt. Well, there's that one guy who like name dropped Halliburton. I don't even know who it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the song goes like, what the hell? And then he says, what the hell, Burton?
Oh man.
I don't know. Even Mainlander was singing it yesterday at the hoop run. So
Yeah, Mainlander 1 or Mainlander 2?
one.
Okay, no.
Two was also in attendance, but was hampered with an ankle injury, so
Oh,
largely
man.
stuck,
Get well
stuck to
soon.
outside shooting.
Marshall, if that's your real name. Yeah, Rudy Gobert's no surprise here. Trae Young's no surprise to me too.
Trae Young is a little overrated.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
the
surprised
impact on
by these
winning. He impacts winning. Like he brings up your floor, but he also hurts your ceiling a lot, and he plays a lot more selfishly. I feel like than a guy like Halliburton does. And he's annoying. I feel like he also draws fouls on people, and I feel like that will leave a bad taste in a lot of like opposing players' minds. Is like you tricked me into a bunch of fouls.
Right.
I'm gonna vote against you.
Again,
and then
it's
Rudy
a-
Gobert
it's
is
a
just like
style
I
of
mean
play,
that one
yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is on the all RFK All Stars, and yeah, also started the pandemic. So allegedly, most underrated player. A little surprised here that Cade Cunningham was number 1,
Okay.
and because I mean this is not a slight against Cade. I just think Cade's performing to expectations. As a
Can you be
number 1
underrated
pick.
as
As a number one pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's meeting his expectations right now.
Right.
Derek White, I could go with
Sure.
that.
Yeah, Derek White has been pretty incredible. There's no doubt.
Norman Powell came in 3rd. Austin Reeves, Drew Holiday. These
Yeah,
make sense.
That all makes sense. Yeah, just like contributing winning players, pretty pivotal players on winning teams that aren't all stars. Yeah.
Best organization. I don't know if I was surprised that the Warriors came in first. I guess they are a first-class organization. Like they've won championships and stuff, but
I guess
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
pull Kuminga on this.
yeah.
I guess they didn't pull Kevin Durant on this.
I'm just a little. I don't know. I'm just a little surprised. I don't know. Like Warriors are a top organization, I guess. I don't
I
know.
mean,
why I'm
Warriors pay
surprised.
people. Warriors haven't
Sure.
really screwed anybody in particular in terms of out of paydays.
Yeah.
Kuminga's probably the only exception, but honestly, his own play hasn't warranted it.
Yeah, great all-star hosts. Great towels. Yeah.
Elite towels. Zero vibe inside a Chase Center, by the way.
Zero vibers. Yeah.
There's so much traffic going to. It's like a very hard place to get to. Go there early if you can. Actually, take a bike. That's my advice. Actually, just bike along the waterfront to get to.
We were literally in an Uber to go to All-Star Sunday, and we had to get out, and Will had to take a scooter or something.
I legit hopped on a Lime scooter. I'm like, screw this. We're only 3 kilometers away.
And Will's like, "You two can just hop on my back, man. Like we can all just hop on one scooter."
I told you guys should have taken the train. The streetcar was right there.
Dog, man, I don't even take a streetcar here, man. Number 2, OKC, and then Boston was 3rd, followed by the Clippers and the Heat.
Did the Raptors get votes?
No, the Raptors have not appeared yet, but they will appear at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. They did
Well,
not get votes for this.
It's a little
But-
sad. I feel like the
but they
Raptors
all-
should be on there.
Well, I do think that's interesting because it does reflect because these are players. Like it does reflect like how players think. It's not like they think they're the worst organization because there's also a vote for that, and the Raptors didn't appear in that either.
Oh, we're just mid. We're just
Yeah, we just
We the-
no,
we
we're
the
just
mid?
we're just iconically like we don't even think about the Raptors. Yeah,
yeah. Fair
So-
enough.
No,
That
it would have
is-
been nice to see the Raptors on here, but got to build it back up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All
We're
right.
the North, baby. Worst organization, the Charlotte Hornets at 38%, followed by the Washington Wizards and the New Orleans Pelicans. I thought the Pelicans
Yeah.
would be a little higher.
Pelicans should be the worst organization. Like
Yeah.
they were for a while. They were sharing training staffs with the New Orleans Saints. Apparently the arena sucks too. Apparently there's like no vibe. Apparently there's like very little local media coverage either. So like no matter what you do, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Certainly no national media coverage. I
Hornets-
think Brandon Ingram actually mentioned that too. He was like, he said something about the media market in New Orleans, and he was like looking forward to like I guess a change of scenery.
Yeah, Brandon.
Finally,
Ingram
one person looking forward to being covered by Toronto media.
No, Ingram looked like he was freed from like an 8-year hostage situation.
Oh, he was
after
thrilled,
that.
man.
He was
Yeah,
so
you've been
happy.
thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah, Hornets at the top makes sense to me. I think they've just been terrible.
Right.
And Wizards, I guess, too.
Yeah.
Haven't won 50 games
guess.
since like JFK was president.
That's crazy, man.
yeah.
They were winning in the Mad Men era.
And then aside from your current head coach, who is the best head coach in the league? Mark Daigneault.
Aside from your current head coach.
It's like you can't glaze your own guy. Hey Shay. Aside from Daigneault, Who's your favorite coach? Asked Josh Robbins. Mark Daigneault came in at 21%.
Really?
As the number one
Surprising.
best coach. Kenny Atkinson, Eric Spoelstra, Joe Mazzulla, Ty Lue.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list. I mean, those are certainly great coaches. I'm a little surprised with the Daigneault thing, just because like we're talking about players voting on, I guess like not their own coach, and there hasn't been a lot of like former Thunder players. You know what I mean? There's not like a lot of in and out to sort of like give the experience of like, okay, what this guy about. So I guess a lot of people just admire him from afar, or they're just rewarding winning, which both things are totally fair. You know?
Yeah, and then on the flip side, aside from your current coach, who is the worst coach in the league? Washington Wizards, Brian Keefe got 24%.
Ain't no way people know what Brian Keefe wants to do.
So 73 votes were casted for this. Mike Budenholzer was second.
Yeah, that's fair.
Doc Rivers was third.
That's fair.
Darko Rajakovic got 5.5% of the votes. I did my math on this. That would be 3 to 4 votes. Yeah.
What?
3 to 4 votes out of the 73 players. So I want to know the 3 players on other teams who were like, yeah, Darko.
Precious.
It's like Precious, Pascal. Was Fred here? No, Fred didn't cross over with Darko.
It'd be like OG,
Yeah. You know what?
Dennis, Davion,
Oh, yo, there's a lot of
Malachi
suspects.
Flynn.
Yeah, there's actually a lot.
Malachi's like, he called me ugly.
There's actually a lot of suspects. Yeah,
There's a lot of former Raptors I could potentially see jump. Oh, what do you think? Do you think Thad Young was it on this list?
Oh man, I know Chris
And
Boucher.
I hate customs.
I know Chris Boucher was like, "Can I please vote for my current coach?" Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, Josh Robbins.
Just to Chris, man.
Break
Love
a
to talk to
leg,
Chris
man.
sometime soon. You know.
Next up, so those were some highlights from the anonymous NBA player poll. Anything you would like to say, or should we just move on?
I don't mind this because I guess like we have the GM version of this at the start of every year with NBA.com's John Schulman doing
Shouts to the Shul God.
doing the GM poll. The GM poll is still pretty like the results are pretty funny because I think it's like a good time capsule of like what's public opinion at that time.
Sure.
Not to say like what's right, like what's the most insightful.
No, it is interesting. I remember like I don't know how many years ago it was. It was like they always ask like what's the one player you would want to build your team around.
Yeah.
And like Cat was number one for
Cat was like number one with a bullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I think there's that aspect where it more captures public opinion rather than what's the most right and correct opinion. So like I'm happy that the players I guess get their own chance to sort of do something like this. My own ultimate thing is like, why do NBA players and coaches and executives love gossiping about each other so much?
Yeah, I guess people just like gossip in general. You don't
No, like
gossip?
the NBA is such a gossipy league. Like
Yeah,
any sort
that's
of off the scenes, like any sort of like if you ever were ever a hot mic situation with GMs or players, they are just talking shit about other players and GMs, and it's like there is just like a distinctly gossipy nature to this league. And this kind of like fits right in with that. An anonymous player poll, like who's taking the time to sit aside and be like, who is the worst coach? Oh, Brian Keefe. Like
yeah, I don't know. We
you know what I mean?
as Oren Weisfeld said, we live in a surveillance state, man.
So man. That didn't get voted? That didn't get drafted?
Next up, so this is playoff season, and like you mentioned, the fans get really excited. The fan bases get really excited. So, noticing a trend here that there's like I'm seeing the emergence of just viral Asian NBA fans. From different fan bases. So the Pistons earlier this week won their first playoff game since 2008.
Yes.
They got jobbed by the refs last night. At the end, a couple calls there, that backcourt violation on Jalen Brunson. But
That was
it was a close game. But one of their fans recently went viral. His name is Tom Herr. He's Korean, and here's a video of Tom reacting to the Pistons winning their first playoff game since 2008 earlier this week.
Brunson gets it in, caught by Towns. Brunson will fire, and that's it. The Pistons end the longest losing streak in NBA.
Let's go!
They win their first postseason game since 2008. Detroit holds off New York, and they get the equalizer. 100.
Detroit!
Basketball, let's go.
For Grant Hill, Stephanie Reddy, our entire crew, Iron Eagle saying so long from the Big Apple. Let's send it to Denver, the Clippers and the Nuggets. Brian Anderson, Stan Van Gundy, Lauren Javara.
Yeah, I'm very happy for him. And this is very sweet. He clearly seems to be like a very invested fan, and it is a cool moment for the Pistons. My question is this what I'd look like on the Rag Pod, man? Can you guys be honest with me?
Well,
is this how I look in the Rag Pods?
I wanted to know, is this how you felt when, like, you know, the Raptors won a game against the Brooklyn Nets?
Game 2?
Yeah, like, it's like, what was your moment when you were like, oh man, all these years, you know, watching the Raptors and stuff was worth it? And you can't say the championship.
Yeah.
There must have been one of those early playoff series during that run
Yeah.
where you're like, damn, this is sick.
I was actually at Game 2, 2014, against the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. Me and my friend Chris went to that game. On our way there, like, you know where Union Station is, like where the subway entrance is? We ran into Rob Ford. Rest in peace, Rob Ford. But, like, he was just like this, like, honestly, I'm not even trying to shame, but he just looked like a giant tomato with the word Raptor on it. And, like, we, like, took a photo with him. Like, you know, we're like, oh,
This guy was glazing Rob Ford.
Yo, you know what I said? This is peak Rob Ford, man. Rob Ford was, like, putting Toronto on the map. Every night you would watch, like, The Daily Show or like the Colbert Report afterwards, and it would just be Rob Ford coverage.
Yeah, for
Rob
all the
Ford
wrong
hiking a
reasons.
football, Rob Ford saying one of the most iconic things ever, which was, "I got more than enough to eat at home," which is crazy.
This is like when
Why did he say that?
This is like when Charlie Sheen went on his Tiger Blood run for like.
It was in that same era, actually. I think they were like roughly concurrent in time, but
yeah.
So we took a selfie with Rob Ford, and the Raptors won that game. It was, I forget like how much they won by, but like, yeah, put us on the map derogatory. I totally agree, Coco. That is actually Rob Ford's effect on Toronto. People are like, there was that video of him like at the Jamaican spot, and he was like speaking broken patois. I'm like, you know how many drunk white guys I've seen speaking patois in Toronto?
Man.
You know, or attempting to. I'm like, this is the most Torontonian man possible. But yeah, I think for me, like the one most seminal moment was I actually went to with the same friend Chris. We went to Game 5 between the Raptors and the Pacers. Series was tied at 2-2 at that time. That was the Norman Powell dunk, the steal and the dunk. They won the end of the game. Solomon Hill made the game-winning three, but then had his fingertips on the ball. So it was like ultimately ruled out as didn't count, and the Raptors won that Game 5. They went on to win that series in Game 7. As you can imagine, I mean, as much as Game 3s are good, Game 5s, man, let me tell you.
No, I stand by my Game 3 is the best game.
Game 3 is the most pivotal, least important pivotal game.
A lot of Game 7s are duds, man. I'm telling you.
Game 7s can be duds, but Game 5s are elite. And that one at home, I just remember screaming, like, I was like, my voice was gone. Like, I was like wearing the T-shirts, my ears were buzzing, and I just remember like I guess like getting on the subway because I lived around like DuPont at that time. So like I hopped on the subway at Union. I'm like sitting there with my Raptor gear on. There's like a couple more Raptor fans around me on the train. And I just remember the energy, and then just sitting down and like sort of like putting in headphones, and like my ears were still ringing and my heart was still racing. I'm like, damn, like this is what it's all about right here, man. Narrowly surviving a Solomon Hill performance.
Yeah, shouts to Tom Herr, man.
Yeah, shouts to Tom Herr. I'm happy for this guy.
He's her, man. Yeah.
Well,
sharing this here, you were asking like what Will kind of looks like when he's watching a Raptors game. This is from 2022, I want to say.
Okay.
So you got him in the booth.
I got him in the booth.
Yeah.
So back in the Sportsnet days, like this is how Will looks like when he's watching. And like when you compare to everyone else at Media Row, like we are usually just sitting still as is. Will lean all the way over. And like you'd hear him over all the game sound, all
over that
PA
mask.
announcement. Yeah, over that mask.
That mask is getting stretched out.
Oh no!
Yo, it looks like that meme of that Gucci backpack just hanging on by the strap.
You know, that mask is in a second apron, man.
I changed him up into Sting, just hanging over, watching from the rafters.
I appreciate
but yeah,
this way more now.
Now you do, right? Yeah, I just waited for now.
Yeah,
Will is a very passionate. I would say very much. Maybe not tears of joy like we saw with what was his name?
Tom Herr,
Tom
yeah.
Herr. Tom Herr.
Her's a Korean name?
Yeah,
Listen, man.
I believe. Yeah. Also, if you look at their jersey, they on the Detroit, they have
He's
like,
wearing a
it's a
wearing
flag,
custom,
Korean flag in there. Yeah.
Is there
it
a
was really-
Detroit Casey Bannerman making jerseys?
Quite possibly. We're just not gonna touch it. But yeah, no. Because it's usually like a media thing where etiquette says you're not supposed to like show your fandom. While
No cheering the press box.
No
Yeah,
cheering
apparently
the
this
press
is like
box.
a super, super serious rule in the Leafs beat. And if anybody even dares to like put their hand up or like, even fist pump or anything like that, there will be like a dozen dirty glances shot your way. The
Correct.
Raptors thankfully do not have this culture.
They do not have this culture, but it is like, especially for the longest time I was working for the team. So like if I was ever in media row, it definitely would be unbecoming to do so. So I was always just like, what's happening right behind me above my head?
Oh, you weren't even there for there was a game the Raptors lost to the Lakers in 2023, maybe 2022. And that was the game where Westbrook hit this like crazy three. And that sent it to overtime, and the Raptors lost in OT. And I remember because Alex was in that booth with me. I remember throwing a chair.
Yeah, you did throw.
You know
did
what I
throw a
was?
chair.
I
That's
was like,
crazy.
fuck, and I threw a chair. Speaking of wrestling,
You know what I was there for? When we were in LA, about to interview Norman Powell, but the Raptors lose by blowing the fourth quarter, and me having to tell Will to like focus on it.
yeah.
Speaking about famous
think
NBA fans, I think Will's computer fan was going
a
off.
lawnmower just drove into Will's place. I hope Will's okay.
what up,
You
guys?
good, Will?
I just had to close my window. It's all
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
that's what it was.
I was like, why is a lawnmower driving into your room?
What's a lawnmower doing in Arlington, Texas, man?
That's crazy, dog.
Remind me, Will, what happened at the end of that Clipper game that got you so
Oh.
heated?
So Raptors were playing in LA. It was a close game. Emmanuel Quickley had just come back from injury. I think they
right.
still didn't have Scotty Barnes. They were in a really close game in the fourth quarter, and then it came down to the last possession. The Raptors called they called timeout, and then they were down 3 with the shot clock turned off, so they need a 3. And the play that they drew up was an inbound to Jakob
Jakob.
Poeltl
That's
with his
right.
back to the basket, like
That's right.
like 40 feet away, and then they would dribble handoff and then try to go for the next play. And immediately the Clippers were like, okay, we'll foul Jakob Poeltl. Luckily, the Clippers had a foul to give, so that wasn't free throws yet. So then the Raptors got a second chance to run a play, and the Raptors, even though they just saw what happened, inbounded to Jakob Poeltl once again. The Clippers were like, wow, these guys are dumb because they're just giving us the chance to foul up 3 against a bad shooter. They foul Jakob. Now, at least to Jakob's credit, he made the first one and he missed the second one on purpose, and it almost tipped it in. But
That's
it's
right.
like, I was like, this is just straight up like bad game planning. And I was like kind of like losing it over that. And
Okay, so for
we
that,
actually got Darko on record saying that it was a mistake the next game against the Lakers. He was like,
Right.
in the future, I have to drop a play that's for the shooter directly and not for the screener for the shooter. And I'm like,
Will's getting heated
yes.
again.
No, seriously. Like, what if that happened in an important moment? Seriously, what if that happened
No,
if
I
Raptors
know,
made
I
the
know.
playoffs next year and they're like, oh, we did a 3. They inbounded Jakob 40 feet from the basket with his back to the basket twice in a row. Like, you got to see these things coming, man. Like,
So you're making the point here. So
anyway, yeah, sorry. I
At
guess
the
I was
end of-
making the point, yeah.
you're making the point here. So at the end of the game, this is also right before we film our infamous Norm Powell interview. So, and it moves really quickly. Basically, the game's supposed to end, and we just have to be ready to go. So we have to get all our gear together. We have to put everything together. Alex is helping me gather my stuff. We're putting things together. Will's looking at us as we are preparing, and he asks, "Aren't you guys fucking mad about this?" Doesn't this like? And I look at Will and I'm like, Will, we have to do an interview right now. And you're like, right.
I'm just stuffing up my Nick Batum jersey in my back pocket, hoping for it to fall out when he comes out of the locker room.
No, Nick Batum did walk by us, by the way.
I know, I got
And he
shook.
did, and he
I
did,
got
and then Alex
shook.
froze.
Yo, I got shook, dog.
But that
Adorable
speaks to
family,
the point
Nick
right there,
Batum's family,
though. Yes, I would say Will can be and probably is still at many times at a Tom Herr level fandom.
Yeah, so there's Tom Herr, And I think wow, hope you don't get sliced by that lawnmower, man.
Yo, isn't that loud? I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're fine, man.
Just work the mute. You're good.
No, you're good, bro. Aside from Tom, I think our goal for next season should be to try to find a Asian fan in all 30 fan bases.
Okay. Well,
And
we
then-
do have another fan that you want to share.
We do
right?
have another fan, so this is my favorite from the Clippers. He goes by Rick Daddy on Twitter. I believe
no.
his name is Rick Chung. So
Rick
here's
Baba.
here's him boarding a plane for Game 82 to Oakland to watch Clippers Warriors.
What is the point of this video?
So have you seen the meme of the MAGA guy who wears like a Trump shirt and he's just staring at everyone on the plane trying to get their attention and no one cares?
He's like, will anyone care?
No,
Is
so
anyone
he-
triggered by my LAC
Yeah, so he
shirt?
did a remake of it wearing a Clippers war.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a purpose for trolling.
Yeah. Like he was just.
Ain't nobody cared that you got
But
the
his-
Clippers shirt on.
No, but his facial expression in this killed me.
Yo.
It's also like it's not the most obvious Clippers shirt. They're
No,
just
it's
like
Right, yeah.
there's nothing about like you really have to look at that and be like, oh, that's what's going on.
He should have had at least one more piece of apparel, like a hat or something.
A
like
hat
that
would
to be
help.
obvious,
Honestly,
yeah.
if you're gonna do it, just wear a jersey.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
the
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
But his face just killed me. Yo, this guy's got the best Asian fan face card in the game.
Oh man, face card not declined. All right. Well, so far, Will, choose your favorite Asian NBA fan between
It's okay.
our two fans here.
And of course, shout out to Andy Liu. That's the number
Oh.
one.
Oh, right.
I
of
mean, and
course.
shout out to us, obviously.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So my thing is, I see this a lot. This actually became a controversy recently in the last month in the Premier League, where there was a Manchester City fan. She was like a Japanese woman who was like a super big fan, and then she went to see City play in Manchester, and like there was like a big, I guess like she got to meet a lot of people. Like it was a very adorable moment. I was like, this is really cool seeing the cross cultural exchange. And then there was there was like a weird lash against it on Twitter, being like, oh, I'm a big fan. I've been a fan. I'm from right here in Manchester. I'm just from down the road, and like I don't get this special treatment. Why is it that like we get any sort of foreigners coming in and then they get like treated in this way? I think it actually probably just like gets swept up in like the bigger right wing sentiment that's like really popular on the internet. But I was just like, wow, like I guess this is not a cool thing for people to fly across the world to go see your organization. Like, you know, that's always really cool to me. Like, you always have like a lot of these fans are like, I flew like 8,000 miles, and they're holding a sign usually. They're like, I flew 8,000 miles from Rome to watch Dennis Schroeder. You know what I mean? Like, it's. And
I do remember
I
a
always
fan
find
that-
that very endearing, man. Like to imagine like making that investment in your mind that like I'm going to go all the way across the world just to go see this team I'm interested in. Like that is very cool to me.
Here's something that kind of ruins some of it. I'm sure it doesn't happen all the time, but I definitely remember catching one of those because I think I was like pulling a photo for No Dunks, a fan that like traveled from out of the country to see, I want to say Steph Curry, but then upon pulling up the tweets to find it, they immediately got exposed for essentially living down the street, but just making a fake sign just so they can meet.
Yo, this is
Steph
what
Curry?
This is
Yeah.
what I've been saying because like it's
Yeah.
been getting really popular around the league of people showing up, being like, I flew this many miles from Guangzhou, China. To,
Yeah,
to
that would
see-
be
Yeah,
you,
honestly,
Will.
like I could probably get away with that. I'd
That would
like,
be you,
"Yo, I
Will,
came
doing
from
the mainland
Guangzhou to
accent.
watch."
Yeah.
No, but
Not
it's
the
all.
pearl.
I'm believing
Yeah.
that there's like a WeChat group happening where all these Asians are like conspiring to just scam to get autographed jerseys.
If they're
What if-
conspiring, I don't think it's starting with autograph jerseys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man.
That is low on the priority
Yes,
list.
so that's conspiracy Al right there.
But
Yeah.
what do you want then? Do you want them to bring the boarding pass? Like, let me see the passport stamp, man. Let me see
I
the
mean-
stamp from customs.
I know border patrol's touchy subject right now, but I do feel like they should have some identification if they're gonna bring a sign like that.
You said that like gritting through your teeth.
Whoa, what?
That was
Elections.
that was a
Hard
little
disagree,
menacing.
man. Hard
Yeah.
disagree.
Make
If
sure
you
you-
even put in
make
the
sure you
effort
go
to scam,
Vote. Yeah.
No, you gotta appreciate the hustle to scam. I think.
it's a great scam though.
It's a good scam.
Because I could probably get away with it now that I'm thinking about it.
No, I guarantee if you brought that sign, like you
Yeah.
would get something autographed.
Right.
It's a
Sure, okay,
it's a
so-
memorabilia conspiracy.
Because technically, it would be true in terms of like coming from out of the country for any NBA team we visit. But should we try to get you to do it for one of our road trips?
Oh my god! And we also have to recreate the plane meme video. Like we're all just wearing Raptors stuff. It's like,
Like-
yo, they don't know we're flying to Atlanta.
Like
to root
how
for the-
how close do we want to hit home? Like, do we want to go to Memphis and try to say like I traveled all this way to meet Zachy?
Yo, Coco, delete that comment. God damn it.
Ice walk.
Oh my god, man. No. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. All right. All right, so Asian fans, let's all keep an eye out for Asian fans in all 30.
Submit your Asian
Fan
fans
bases.
to info@StephenLeBron. This
Okay.
is our Tangerine fan angle.
No, 'cause,
And
like,
then
there
and
was,
then
like,
let's do like a Zoom with all 30 of them.
Oh my god,
Yo, that'd be sick, man.
that'd be actually
Come on.
fire. That'd be really
Come
good.
on,
What do we even
Yeah.
talk about, man?
Don't matter. We're gonna go so viral, man. Like, it'll be so crazy.
We travel from all over the world to support the NBA. It's
Yo,
That or
come
we
on.
get reported.
Come on, 30 Asian fans from 30 fan bases. That's sick, man.
They didn't round us up, man.
Come on, man. Yo.
55 burgers.
They're gonna make
55 hot dogs. 55.
They're gonna make us do Asian Heritage Month in this shit.
Someone's
Oh
like
my
talk
God.
about dim sum. Yo, get out of here.
30 hot dogs.
You know what? Actually, it's a great idea.
I would
It's a
love
really
to
good
do-
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Compare the
30-person
Raptors to
draft.
the
Yo,
Suns.
we'll literally get Mark Tatum to announce the picks because he's Asian. Yeah.
Yo,
This
we're,
would've-
we're recreating the Chinese Basketball Association, but in aggregate, in the aggregate.
Oh my god.
No, but imagine during the bubble when they had the fake fans, if just one section was just all Asian.
Not the Great Wall.
Holy.
Oh, win one for the wall, yo. Let's go.
Oh my god.
All
I
right.
guess this is the number one way to get a signature, though. Just say I came
I'm
from
telling
Asia.
you, it's a memorabilia scam.
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
I did come from Asia to watch the Raptors. It just
Eventually, you
I
just say
just
when.
came like 25
Dog,
years ago now.
when I was in San Francisco covering Cavs Warriors 2016, no big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your
my-
job.
I was there was a family wedding there as well. So I had a lot of relatives there, and some of them were from the mainland. Actually, I don't know why that matters. But
Why you
what-
say it like that?
one of them from the
Mainland.
one of the uncles or cousins, I don't know how
Yeah.
old they were, from the mainland.
Where are they from, man? Shenzhen, like right across the.
Was like, yo, you going to cover the game? Like, can you take this basketball and get Steph Curry to sign it? I'm like, no. No, Asians love the autograph
Yeah, yeah.
memorabilia. Man.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
for
scam.
sure, for sure.
Yeah,
As much
Also,
as they love
Asians
the free
asking
towel.
for things, man.
yeah, there's a scam happening, man. What free towel? Anyways, hard pivot.
We should actually ask our 30 Asian fans how many free towels do they have.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. man.
It's a towel
Anyways,
towel
we're
contest.
gonna get 30 Asians. That's the goal. 30 for
Okay.
30.
Go get Serge Ibaka for the show. Thanks.
Oh yeah, can you look up? Is Real Madrid done or Barcelona?
Oh yeah,
Are they
true,
done?
true, true.
Yeah.
I think they're still in, right? They had that big win recently.
Okay.
Over,
okay.
Yeah, hold on. Real
Yeah.
Madrid.
It's
Man,
fine.
you got to turn on basketball because otherwise they'll just give you, the actual
yeah.
pictures.
All right, hard pivot to the next topic.
Oh, they're
here,
playing
Will.
today, 2:30 against Olympiacos, man.
All right,
Quarterfinals
React
against
Pod
Olympiacos.
coming.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Hope they lose, so Serge is available then.
I guess I got to root against them. Yeah.
Yeah, hope they lose.
You guys want to watch that together? That's in 2 hours, man.
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah. So next here on the six pack hard pivot, John Hamm hosted SNL recently, and
Oh, yeah.
Kieran
Okay.
Culkin popped up as well. And here's what John Hamm said to Kieran Culkin.
All right, whatever, dude. Mad Men was better than Succession.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Mad Men is better than Succession. That's what I said.
No, it isn't.
Look, I think we can both agree that you're wrong. I love you. Bye.
So, I know, Will, these are two of your favorite shows.
Yeah.
So you have to make the call here:
not
Mad
hard.
Men or Succession.
It's Mad Men for you, no?
it's Mad Men. No, there's no doubt. I mean, Mad Men has 7 seasons, man. Succession will have what, 4?
So what is this? Quantity over quality?
You're not counting rings.
Succession was
Grey's
cool.
Anatomy has more seasons than LeBron. You don't see me making the argument.
Yo, man, who's gonna retire first? What's her name?
Appreciate
Ellen or
greatness.
LeBron? No, I mean, no. Mad Men's iconic, man. Mad Men, especially at that time too, like it put AMC on the map. You know, Mad Men was like Vince Carter, like for the Raptors. You know what I mean? Like ain't nobody watching
Show some
AMC
respect to Breaking
before.
Bad too.
Yeah,
Well, that happened after though.
Oh,
that happened.
fair,
that was
fair.
after, exactly.
Some
That-
respect
Breaking
to
Bad was
Hell on Wheels, man. Halt and Catch Fire, man.
also
Walking Dead.
Yeah, those are all after, man. It was
Fear
Mad
the
Men that put
Walking
them on
Dead.
the
Yeah.
exactly. They launched
Walking
the
Dead,
whole
the
organization.
third, yeah. Power Book 2. No, that's stars.
That's stars.
So it's not close for you? Mad Men versus Succession? It's not even
really.
close.
Not,
What's
Succession? I also hate almost everybody on that show, which I guess is kind of the
That's the
brilliance of the
point.
writing
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Whereas like I genuinely rooted for so many characters. Like there was nobody nearly as like had the arc of a Peggy Olsen, for example, or even just like seeing the way like I revisit Mad Men a lot just to like, you know, just I guess the exploration of like seeing why a person is not happy. I guess there's lots of themes of that in Succession as well, but that one feels like no one can be happy in a world that cynical versus like there is an actual like tangible hope of being happy and a resolution in Mad Men that some characters achieve, some characters don't. And I like that exploration in a show. Like that's probably my favorite theme. It's my favorite thing about The Bear. It's my favorite thing about The Sopranos. As well, so I like that, and I think that exploration, yeah, like I'm, you know, like I don't want to identify myself as any Mad Men characters, but you know, I'm in a little bit in my like season 4 Don Draper mode right now.
Well,
So
Mad Men's great because every season Don Draper just crashes out and then goes to the, and then
yeah,
goes
but
to the
Kendall
beach.
crashes out every
And then he
season.
just goes to the beach and reads a book, and then he just comes back.
I mean, isn't that
No,
don't you
that's what I'm saying.
sympathize with this?
That's what I'm saying. It's super relatable, man. But yeah, I don't know. I've never rewatched Mad Men. I
do want to rewatch it.
Yeah, I appreciate the show.
Yo, you guys want the raw files, man? I got the mega upload from you guys.
Dog, man,
good.
it's available on Crave and all these streaming services.
It's available on Netflix and Prime, but I mean,
Oh
if you guys want the
gosh.
hard files, let me know, man.
No, I don't want the hard.
You guys don't want to open up the hard files on the VLC media player?
I'm gonna put Succession close to Mad Men, but I would also
Okay.
choose
Sure.
Mad Men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we all know the best show is Industry.
I was gonna say, is Industry coming in for?
I
We gotta see. We gotta see how they do.
Industry got to
We
stick
gotta
the
see how they
landing,
do.
man. There's
Sure.
no what's-
Okay, Andy Greenwald. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Which one of you will be my Chris Ryan?
We gotta
man?
stick the landing.
Yo,
That's
CR,
crazy.
man.
Yo, CR has his own subreddit, man. Got like 30K
Really?
followers. Yeah, that's clout. Yeah, that's aura, man. All right, so that's my 5-pack, and then I'm passing it on to Jerome for the 6th.
All right,
Okay.
the final pack here is actually gonna just lead into our Tangerine fan segment, fan
Let's
inbox.
go.
Did you guys know that Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada? And of course, they're not just fans of basketball, they're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who cry tears of joy when their team breaks the longest playoff losing streak in NBA history or wear their team's shirt on a plane of opposing fans. If you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you are at the heart of what makes this game great. So while we watch Kawhi Leonard play like it's the 2019 Toronto Raptors, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands and celebrating the way Raptors fans support their team because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. Guys, we got ourselves a really nice email at our info at hellowelcome.show. Sorry, not Stephen LeBron. And it is from a member of the band Bad Not Good.
Oh,
I think
got
we all got a
motion?
chance to read it. Sorry?
We got motion? Is what you're telling me?
I'm going to pull up this email right here. Ooh, that's definitely not it.
I guess that's just the motion. Yo, why do I'm not listening to any other songs. That Nothing Was to Say by Drake. I'm sorry.
Oh,
man.
my gosh.
It's just
one sec.
nonstop pound cake references on this show.
One sec while I pull up the email. Sorry. About
I'm
that.
on a
just
roll
gonna
like
read everything.
Cottonelle. Sorry, man. I could fill time. I could do
Yeah,
probably
talk
the
through
whole album. Yeah.
your album
Yeah.
lyrics right now.
Just hold on, we're going home. Worst behavior. What else was on that album, man? God damn, the song with Big Sean. God, From Time with Janelle Aiko, also a great song.
Leaving you on crickets, man. Yo,
Tuscan Leather.
Anybody want to send me free Kendrick tickets in Toronto? Let me know.
Okay, buddy.
Super expensive.
All right, pulling up here. Hi,
thank goodness.
Will,
Oh, good.
Alex, and Jerome. Sorry about that. Thank
Yep.
you. Hi, Will, Alex, and Jerome. Just want to thank you guys for a great season of podcasts. I've been following you since Sportsnet, but really love the new format. As an Ottawan/Torontonian temporarily living in the U.S., yikes. Your show has been a great slice of home-related content, especially in the last few months. Love all the food and music/general Toronto references. To be honest, the React pods have been more entertaining than most of the later season games themselves. Looking forward to next season and your coverage of it. I'm also a musician that plays in a band called Bad Bad Not Good. Loved your shout out to our friend Charlotte Day Wilson. Alex and I went to the concert. It was really great.
CW.
And just wanted to reach out as a fan, say if you ever want tickets, blah, blah, blah. But this is from Chester
Blah, blah,
Hansen.
blah. Thanks for the tickets. We won't be requesting tickets.
We will be requesting
that's
tickets.
that's the only part I read.
I know, but we will be requesting those tickets. But
so
no,
sweet. Thank you.
shout out to Chester. That was really awesome. I was listening to Bad Bad Not Good all week. Fantastic band. It inspired a segment that I wanted to do with you guys in checking in with the NBA playoffs, which I'm going to call the Bad Bad Not Good scale.
Okay.
So what we're going to
Like
do
it.
right now is we're going to look at all the teams that are currently down in the NBA playoffs, and we're going to say either down in the series or if they've lost home court, if their series is tied. And I'm just going to ask you guys, on a scale from bad, bad, not good, which would be down super bad, not good, which is like, I'm kind of worried about them, or good, don't worry about them. I'm going to ask you guys for each team to give me a quick rating of what you think. So we're going to start off. Just for an example, it's a really easy one here. We have the Grizzlies down 3-0 after a 50-point loss and also a 29-point comeback loss. I would assume they would rank in the bad, bad, not good category. What would you guys say?
You'd be wrong. I would say they're good because they're good to go home. They get to go back to their families. They get to start their off season. So
Look
the
at this
Grizzlies are
work-life
good.
balance.
The
Thomas
Grizzlies are
Asalo's
good.
like, I'm going back to Finland after this,
Tim
man.
Chung's gonna
God.
have to come back and tell us about Nico Harrison.
Oh, man.
They're good. The Grizzlies are good.
The Grizzlies are good.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're-
how about
they're
you,
clearly
Will?
bad, bad, man. Come on, dog.
Bad, bad, not good. All right. Up next, we're looking at the Denver Nuggets, who are down 2-1 to the Los Angeles Clippers. This was going to be probably our tightest series, or at least our most watched, and we're all now Clippers fans. But how are the Denver Nuggets guys on the bad, bad, not good scale?
Will?
I don't have a lot of faith in the Nuggets right now, and I don't feel like this is a good year for them just in general. So they're also bad, bad, not good for me, man.
Oh, wow. So they're all the way down bad.
Yeah. No, this
Okay.
is pretty bad, man. This is the team with championship expectations about to go home in round one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're bad, not good, and thigh fives to you guys. Steve Ballmer thigh
Oh, man.
fives. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
That's like a threat, man. Jesus
Yeet.
Christ. Man. Why you just, oh, God. Put those
Why
claws
use
down,
the
man.
claw for
They
this?
got the claw and they got the palm.
Oh, my goodness.
The little palm bomb.
All right. Right now, the Lakers and Timberwolves are tied 1-1, but the Timberwolves got home court from them by winning one of them away. So we're going to pick the Lakers. How are the Lakers looking right now on the bad, bad, not good scale?
I would go with not good.
Okay.
I feel like I'm kind of swinging towards the Wolves in this series. I feel like over the 7 games, they actually might take this series. And I don't know. I know LeBron had a good stat line last game, but I feel like we need a little bit more from LeBron.
I guess we're used to seeing LeBron elevate his level in the playoffs, and I'm still banking on that. So I think the Lakers are fine. I think they're good. They're 1-1 in the series. That's where they should be right now.
All right. Looking at the Rockets Warriors, Rockets lost home court. So how are the Rockets looking right now?
I'm going to say the Rockets are good.
It depends if Jimmy Butler's bad, not good or not.
Right.
Yeah. If Jimmy Butler's bad, not good, then the Rockets are good. If Jimmy Butler's good, then the Rockets are bad, not good. Or I don't know.
Yo,
I just wanted to confuse you guys.
It started to sound like baby.
I went
now.
cross-eyed.
This guy gave the Bilbo Baggins speech to his family at the 111th birthday.
All right, how about it's all Jimmy Butler dependent, but I guess we're saying that things are looking not good for the or bad not good for the Warriors.
Do you think Jimmy Butler's just getting a? Do you think Jimmy Butler's like 100% serious? Do you think he's just getting a butt massage for like half the day?
Nah, I don't know. Crickets.
I'm just saying, like,
who knows?
That'd just be a crazy way to spend a day, just getting your butt massaged for
Crickets.
Hopefully
Jimmy
you can
Booty
play.
is bad, not good.
Hey, I hope his body holds up, man. It'd be really sad not to have playoff Jimmy.
All right. Well, how are we feeling about the Miami Heat, who are down 2-0 to the Cavaliers?
I don't feel anything about the Miami Heat.
Oh yeah, they're not good, man.
Yeah, they're not good. I mean, this is as far as they should have made it anyway. Like,
Sure.
to get into the playoffs. Last game was actually pretty competitive. You know, it took Donovan Mitchell making a bunch of tough shots to like get the Cavs over the top. But like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like when your biggest story is how good Davion Mitchell is playing for you, that's probably a bad sign just in general. Although I'm very happy for Davion himself.
Are you describing the first half of the Toronto Raptors season?
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, moving on. Even with the extension of GM John Horst, how are we feeling about the Milwaukee Bucks who are down 2-0 heading home?
You know what? I'm feeling good about the Bucks, and right now on Betway, the Bucks tonight are -5.5 favorites in Game 3 at home, and it's a 2.00 odd. I don't think this series is done. I
Really?
think
Okay, I like
yeah,
it.
you
I
know
like
the
it.
cliche. You know the cliche, dog. Series doesn't start until home team loses a game. So series has not started yet. I think we're gonna get hit the overs on every Giannis prop tonight. I think Giannis.
man. You
I
going
think
for
Giannis
50?
is going for. I think Giannis is going Lou Alcindor tonight.
Oh,
and
man.
and you know the other cliche, role players play better at home. So
Their whole
Tori,
team is role players. outside two guys.
Torian Prince, Ryan freaking Rollins.
Great reference.
All these guys. So I don't think this series is done. I like the Bucks tonight to cover the -5.5 in a blowout win over the Pacers, and I think they're good. I think this series is gonna go 7.
It's do or die, man.
Yeah.
Like, it is do or die. I am expecting a generational Giannis performance. As much as the Pacers have been winning, they have no answers for Giannis. Like,
And I
they're
really
just-
believe in the role players in the home game, and this is their last stand. Like,
right. Bobby Portis has been playing well. I feel like he could probably put up a big
this has
number.
got desperate Bucks team, and
Right.
I think they're gonna blow them out tonight.
Can you parlay this with a fight?
Yeah, I will check Betway in a sec on that, but
Okay, yeah, because I would love to see. I would love to parlay this with like a Gary Trent Jr. or Bobby Portis ejection.
Well, it's a big upset in that I know the Knicks and Pistons have gotten into a few scuffles too. Shouts to B-ball Paul. But
Yeah,
it's
he's
an
been decent,
upset.
actually,
It's an upset that the Bucks series is the one that seems most likely headed towards a fight. Like this is the series. I think
mean,
going into
they
the
hate
playoffs,
each
we were
other.
expecting the Pistons.
They full on hate each other.
Yeah, and I love that, and that's why I want this series to go long. So make sure you hit the QR code below. Check out all your basketball betting odds on Betway.
There you go.
Up next, we got ourselves the Detroit Pistons, who are down 2-1 to the
Hell yeah.
Knicks.
Detroit basketball. Shouts to Tom Herr.
All right, Tom Herr.
Yo, I'm Herr, bro.
How are the Detroit Pistons?
I salute the Pistons fans. First off, it was really cool seeing like for the playoffs, like for these teams to bring back their old players and sit courtside. Like the Knicks have been doing it a lot. They've been doing it in the regular season too. But like, when you're seeing like Carmelo courtside, you're seeing like Bernard King courtside. He's
What
sitting beside
you
Patrick
know about
Ewing.
Bernard King? Man?
Ooh, man, come on, man. What do you put up, man? 60 in the Garden.
Notice Bernard King
actually, I
doesn't
think-
know Boys to Men.
Ted Stepien probably traded that pick that could have gotten Bernard King. You know?
Oh man, he was a king, man. That guy, he was royalty in the Garden. Come on, man. The monarchy, man. They called him the monarch. Shouts to the Monarchs.
Pistons is cool. I saw they had Ben Wallace and Chris Webber and Jalen Rose were together.
Yes,
At
yeah.
the game, which was super cool.
Tim Hardaway Sr. was there supporting his son. Like
Yeah.
the vibe in Detroit was awesome. Also, I love when a series gets to the point where you're in a good playoff series when the fans start hating the other team. And there was just nonstop fuck you, Jalen Brunson chants like the whole night. Every time he touched the ball, it was fuck Jalen Brunson. And I'm like, I love that energy, especially Detroit. You know what I mean? Like that's like the vibe. Like you come in here, you flop your way, you put Asar Thompson in foul trouble, and we are gonna chant "fuck you" the whole night. And I'm actually super happy with how that series has gone. The only reason I would say not good for them is at one point in the third quarter, like it was a pretty close game, and the Pistons had the ball. And you know how they sometimes will play music like during games, like they'll play usually defense chants like when they're on the defensive end, but on the offensive end sometimes they'll play music. And I was like, I had to like rewind this to make sure, but the Pistons started playing Wait the Whisper song during their own possessions. And I was just so disoriented.
That's a red
it was
flag,
like
yeah.
it was like Cade's bringing the ball up, he's getting the screen from Jalen Durant, and all you hear is like doom doom doom.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Doom doom. I was like, what? Who's hooping the Wait the Whisper song?
Oh goodness.
But then in the Clipper game, they also played Candy Shop by 50 Cent
Not
when
wrong.
James
Yeah,
Harden
they would
had
show
it.
up. Yeah.
And I was like, what?
No, shouts to Steve Ballmer for that, man. No
Steve
flaws.
Ballmer's reaching
no
for candy
flaws.
with those thigh.
They were like, how do you want it? Do you want to back that thing up and push up on it? And I'm like, what?
No, I think
pushing
the
up on
the
Pistons. I think the Pistons are good, regardless of whether they win this series or not. I think they got to feel good about the season that they've had too, and you can make the case that they could have won all 3 games in this series so far. It's been super competitive, and I do have a decent to sizable bet on the Knicks to win in exactly 6 games. So
Oh,
I
okay.
hope the
Okay.
Knicks. So rooting for the Pistons in Game 4.
You spent all 75 cents.
It was $1.50. So I hope Pistons win Game 4, and then the Knicks take the next 2. Yeah, Knicks have not looked good to me. I know Cat had a good game yesterday and all that, but Knicks have not looked good to me.
Well, they got to use Cat because, like, if he's getting single covered by Tobias Harris the whole series, like, how do you not use him, man? As much as
also-
Cat isn't great. but,
Also,
like,
I
come on.
forgot this is Tobias Harris' second time in Detroit.
Oh yeah. Remember, he was a Milwaukee Buck too.
Oh yeah,
He
he was
was
in
in Orlando
Orlando Magic too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yo, Tobias Harris in 15 years will be a great basketball reference game.
Yeah.
Sure.
He started his career with the Milwaukee Bucks. He got traded, I think, in the JJ Redick trade to.
Oh my god.
Wow.
He might have been the only player who's been traded for both Darvin Ham and JJ Redick.
Wait, what? He was traded for Darvin
I
Ham
don't know.
too?
That would be amazing. I feel like I'm just fan fiction.
Okay, Tobias
Sure,
Harris
sure.
started his career in Milwaukee, went to Orlando.
Yeah, JJ
Detroit
Redick trade,
he was there for 3 seasons. He wasn't even there for like a cup of coffee. He was there for 3 seasons. Got traded to the Clippers. Was this like the Blake Griffin trade?
Or San Ilyasova.
Ersan Ilyas. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, another guy who's been around. Philadelphia and then
Yeah.
back to Detroit. Shouts to Tobias Harris, man. How much money do you think Tobias Harris has made in his career?
A lot, man. He also has a stake in Crumble cookies.
That's right.
I mean, okay, so he has, by the end of his current contract, right now he's making 25. Next year he's making 26. He will have made over $300 million in career salaries for Tobias Harris.
No, Tobias Harris living good, man. Would you
Man.
rather be Tobias Harris or Chris Paul?
No one's ever asked that question, man. What about neither?
I'm fine as is, I guess.
Tobias Harris and Chris Paul.
Yo, motherfuckers just be saying anything on a podcast on a Friday. Man.
What's going on with you, dog? Can we talk Sinners yet, man? Holy
my
Sinners
goodness.
work, man. Jesus Christ. Would you rather be Tobias Harris or Chris Paul?
Is Haley Steinfeld really half black?
It's like 1/8.
Okay. All right, Jerome. Any other teams?
The final team is the Orlando Magic that is down 2-0. How are the Orlando Magic on the bad, not good scale?
Yeah, it's not good.
They're bad, don't care.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's a series. I'm not tapping in unless the Magic win 2 games.
I love that they're like, yo, Tatum got hurt. Just sit it out, man. Just chill. It's just the Magic. Go ahead and chill.
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown got this. Yeah.
It's been a fun first round so far, though.
It's been great, man.
Like,
I'm watching ball
usually-
every night, man. This is,
Like usually, there's
my
maybe
dream.
half of the series that are kind of duds, but there's not really a lot of duds, man.
You get at least one good game a night, if not 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
so-
we go watchability rankings between the 8 playoff series right now, Orlando.
New pot.
Orlando's definitely like last, I would say.
Orlando, no,
Sure,
Boston,
yeah.
Orlando. Boston, Orlando's last. I
Yeah.
would put OKC, Memphis next.
That
It's
was
a
there's
fun,
at
interesting
least-
because
but the
like
crash
freakish
outs are
stuff is
interesting.
happening.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun game to watch, but it's a 3-0
I would-
series.
I would put Heat, Cavs.
Yeah, he
actually.
Cavs.
yeah.
I would tier all those three as like my
Right.
least watchable.
Okay.
But there's like 5 must-watch series. Like I have to watch every Pacers Bucks series. I have to watch every.
The rest
like,
are must
Pistons
watch.
game.
Yeah,
Nuggets,
Lakers,
Clippers
Wolves is a
must-watch.
must watch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Rockets Warriors is a must watch. But the Rockets Warriors, man, they gotta allow them to equip weapons in these games. Like they shouldn't just come to the
what?
game with hands. Like they should have come to the game
my
with
goodness.
like guns and knives. And stuff.
What? Okay.
It's a bar fight in there, man.
All right, yeah.
I want to share something, guys, that I found in the timeline that just reminded me of Will's shirt. Adam Luxeris posted this, but apparently Ed Sheeran, as part of Time Magazine post on a carousel, shared this fit photo of himself that I want to share right here. Oh, how do I add? Oh, my screen's freezing. This isn't
Damn.
it.
Oh, here we go.
No. Here we go.
Oh,
Yo, Ed Sheeran got like the inverse aura. Like
damn, man, you
he's-
repping the Jays like that?
He was at the Much Music. You can see
Oh,
VMAs,
okay. Okay.
like
So
in
he
the
was
background. there.
pandering.
He's pandering in the moment there.
Okay,
but
he's
yeah.
pandering.
That's kind of fire, man. Those Converse, by the way, like I never found those shoes comfortable, man.
Okay. and Tobias Harris versus CP3's rejected. Yo, this guy,
Y'all like
Shoe talk. Not
like,
shoe
"Yo."
talk.
this guy's like, y'all cop Converse for comfort.
y'all wearing
Oh,
Converse high
Yo,
tops.
style or substance? What's going on, man?
No, there's just
Holy.
no support for your foot at all, man.
All right, what do you want me to do with that, man? This guy Austin Reeves throwing lobs to LeBron, man. He's like, try to get this one.
I'm crying, man. This
Yo,
is
what
great.
are you doing, man?
Oh man.
Anyways, make sure to follow me on Letterboxd at Stephen LeBron. Sinners.
Yo, what'd you give Sinners, man?
4 stars.
I still have to go see it.
4 stars?
4 stars, and the review was Vampire Weekend. Yeah.
Oh, well done. well done.
Spoilers.
Goodness, man.
Yeah, if you're trying to get real
What's
reviews,
the
this
point
ain't
of
it.
that review? What
It's
did
just-
I get out of it?
It's just me being witty.
Where's the wit in that?
Witty was it word chose for that one?
Yo, come
Good
on, man.
review for Sinners.
Y'all don't
is
like
just
that?
Vampire Weekend
Come on,
is
man.
crazy.
Y'all don't like that?
Go see Wood. Go see Sinners. It's a very fun movie experience.
I didn't watch
had a
it.
great time.
I didn't watch it in 70 millimeter. I watch it.
Yeah,
in
I'm gonna
just
try
like-
to do the 70 mil soon.
It's
Nice.
only in Vaughan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently,
at
there's only
Colossus.
10 theaters like across like North America. I think that
That's
are
right.
showing it at 70 mil.
Yeah.
right. It's fun. It was really funny to hear Ryan Coogler in his Oakland accent say Colossus. like, he's like,
Oh, he
"At
listed the
Colossus?"
theaters?
He listed the theaters.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
amazing, man.
That
Yeah.
theater, that is such a moment in time, man. That Vaughn theater, it's like
Oh my
straight
gosh.
from the 1980s. Like it's like
It
built like a
wasn't there
spaceship.
in the 1980s.
It wasn't. No, why does it look so retro? Like
No,
there's
yeah.
like neon lights everywhere.
I think
the
it-
games look old.
Alex, when did it come into play? I think like around late 90s, 2000s, right? Because it was like
Yeah.
Silver City first and then that.
Colossus was a big deal when it opened.
It
man.
was.
Like,
also
you
that
had-
it was
you had
like
to go to
knee
Vaughan.
deep in Woodbridge, like back
Yeah.
like in high school and university days. It would just be like a lot of Woodbridge Italians driving up in like loud Civics,
Sure, yeah.
hanging out in front. I remember watching movies and like the whole theater would smell like hair gel.
Yeah.
It was like, and there was always a fight to break out after the movie.
Yeah. I just remember it wasn't safe
You're
for
just
no
describing Grease, the movie. But okay.
Right.
it wasn't safe for no Asians at my school when Italy got knocked out, I think. Was it by South Korea in the
Oh,
World
Tom
Cup?
Hurst.
Yeah,
Tom
yeah,
Hurst
yeah.
screwed them.
No, but every Asian was just Korean. Like it
Well,
was
that
not
was-
safe in the cafeteria.
You're like,
No,
yo,
no, it was
I don't
nuts.
even eat kimchi, please.
yeah, I'm like, yo, check out my China flag.
The day that it happened, I was
Dressed like a fucking like a Imperial Tomb Warrior.
No,
man.
it's dangerous, yo.
Forbidden
Yeah.
City ass motherfucker.
Did you have the same experience, Jerome?
Yeah, the day that it happened,
Really?
it was so I don't know if it happened in your schools, but like you would do your final exams and then you could come back to like check your results. So it was the day that we were supposed to go back to check the results, and I'm taking the subway down, and I find out because I leave early enough that my dad called, I think, and told me that Korea won. So I find out and I'm walking into it. And I went to St. Mike's, which is predominantly a white school, a lot of Italian people in the school.
Yep.
And I found out every Korean person that went to my school that day because 3 people were out in front waving flags.
Oh, man.
And then every other student there was like, bro, it's fucking rigged, bro.
Yo, honestly, I mean, 2002 was a long time ago, but that shit was kind of rigged, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yo, this is why I always root for Italy, man. I don't want no heat, man.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The crazy thing is you are more Italian than you are Korean, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
you're
Absolutely.
you're like an honorary Italian at this
Yeah,
point.
shouts to the Azzurri. Yeah, Sinners was good. You know, you get twice as much Michael Jordan as you do in Space Jam. Yeah, that was my other.
he plays-
Was that your other letterbox review? That was what you were going to go with?
Space Jam 2.
What happened to us doing
More like Alex B.
Steve LeBron
Wash.
radio breakdowns on like? What happened to Rush Hour breakdowns, man? What happened to the
Oh yeah,
Crazy
we'll
Rich
get back.
Asians
We'll get
breakdowns?
back to that, man. We'll get back.
There's
No,
gotta
but
be more
Sinners was
depth than
great.
just
Like
Vampire Weekend, man.
I was actually reading a lot because I was referencing earlier how there was an Asian couple there and they own like
There is,
stores across, and one was for the black people there, one was for the white people in like the Mississippi Delta. And
That was actually
watching,
historically accurate. Yeah.
Yeah,
which
I
is
was
kinda
watching.
crazy.
I was watching some documentary clips and stuff on YouTube of just the history of Asians just
Right,
being
right.
there and like servicing the black community because the white community wasn't really doing that, and they became this like bridge between like the blacks and the whites there. And there was only like 700 Asians there.
Right.
Like, and it was like 2% of the population, but they had all these different like grocery stores, restaurants and stuff. It's actually really, it's really interesting. You know way more
Yeah.
history stuff than me. I usually am lacking on that.
I usually find a lot of this I guess like the migration patterns and sort of like how we all ended up here like just generally fascinating in that period of history. You know, America being the new world and people sort of like either escaping or being forcibly taken to this new world and then having to sort out sort of where they are relative to each other. And sort of like, I guess the specific and very dedicated construction of new societies. And like, yeah, obviously this was like in peak segregation moments. And I think the North, maybe at that point slavery was abolished, but like in the South, it was still very much legal and it was like the backbone of their economy at that time. And so nobody wanted to give away their power. And I think that like the way that they, I guess, brought in Asians to be this sort of like, not even, I wouldn't say bridge, because bridge in like, I guess, suggests that there's like an invitation to sort of connect the two. It was sort of like a buffer. It was sort of like a shield, basically, of like, we do not want to interact with this other society. And for very racist purposes, we're going to put in like the like just Chinese people in particular in that time to operate these businesses. And I think even to this day, like I think banks were at that time were only really giving out loans for Chinese people to open like, I guess grocery stores, I think laundromats, and you know, restaurants. And I think that those are still like some very predominantly like Asian dominated businesses even to this day. But I think that it was again a very purposeful thing where like they just did not want to service the black community at all, and so they were like, we're going to bring in these people to do it. And so it is very neat that in this movie, which is set in the South and not really about anything Asian, but they actually had these characters, and it was actually historically accurate based on that time. But I don't know. I just found the whole thing really dark. I think it's also really dark when like anything happens, they start sort of like, I guess trying to incite, I guess the differences between where Asians are and where black people are versus where white people are in societies, especially in the South. And like, I don't know. I think there should just be, as much as possible, more awareness brought to these issues so that you can at least see the solidarity and see the bigger pattern that's going on. And at least hopefully that we're aligned in the same interests rather than trying to fight each other over any sort of crumbs that we get. So
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. I don't think they need us to promote this for them. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was amazing in it. Michael B. Jordan and Michael C. Jordan.
Oh my God, man. What's up with your movie review?
Yo, shouts to the Smokestack twins, man.
Oh, Jerry Stackhouse.
No, but crazy aura. No, everybody was great in that movie.
It was really fun. That's the thing. It's like I think my trepidation, because I didn't really know much about it, kind of intentionally going into the movie, I was like, I really don't want to. I don't know. I just like I'm not a big fan of horror movies in general. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like I've never like, all right, I'm gonna go see a scary movie.
This
you know what I
movie
mean?
was like so many different genres.
It wasn't really a horror movie, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a
I didn't feel
musical.
that
It's
way.
like kind of a musical in a way too, just like a
Oh,
lot
is
of
it? I
music,
still
like-
haven't seen it yet, guys.
No, Jordan, don't worry, you have no idea what's gonna happen in
Yeah,
this movie.
Yeah, I know,
Our
I know.
weekend, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, that gives everything away.
Yeah. I love the questions here, man. Someone in the middle of all that was just like, how did Ben Simmons end up in the Clippers?
In
Yo, are
reference
they
to what
watching
you're
us on
bringing- yeah.
mute? They're just like, I'm just gonna pop in a
did
question.
he just get bought out and then that's it?
Yeah.
Well,
no
no, I think it was a
spoilers.
joke about because you were talking about how immigrants ended up in America, and then
Oh my god. man.
What's this Australian doing on the LA Clippers?
Anyway.
oh, actually, we did get $10.
Oh,
from Top Shot.
Shouts to Top Shot.
Need
Tesla.
an Asian product sponsor for these segments. Hashtag Skyflakes. Great Wall is wild.
Yeah. How do we not have a boba sponsor, guys?
I
We
could actually
tried.
explain that to you in detail if you want.
No, don't do that right now, please.
No, but no, shouts going back to shouts to Chester, Bad Not Good.
Yeah.
And shouts to went to the Sports Card Expo yesterday, ran into a lot of hello and welcome listeners. Specifically shouted out the two of you as well.
That's
They're
really
like, where's
nice.
Jerome? Where's Will? I'm like, Will's not spending money here, man.
What did you cop? Wait, hold on. What did you
Did
cop?
you cop anything?
Yeah, but don't worry about it.
Why?
So
Just let us know.
no, but shouts
You can talk
shouts
to him after. Will.
shouts to all the car dealers and everything. You know, hello was ringing out yesterday. You know.
That's
Oh,
really
that's
nice.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
shouts to Quan. Shouts to the person who took a picture with me. If you're listening, please send it to me. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's super cool. So shouts to So if you're famous like Chester from Bad Not Goods, email us and we'll make a segment after you. Because we sure ain't making a segment after Johnson Chow. Are these? No, shouts to you, Johnson. No, but imagine it's like, are the Heat John, Son, or Chow?
They chow. Chow or not chow
is
great.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Son
Oh,
is like,
chow. I thought chow like food. Like there's
no,
food,
Son's like,
yeah.
son, damn, son.
You know what? You're,
And John is, it's time to hit the John,
you're kind of talking me
okay.
into it, man.
You want to do a Johnson? Yo, shouts to Johnson.
Let's bring Johnson in for it, man.
All right, we're gonna do a Johnson Chow next time. Just to hear Jerome say, "Is this John's son or Chow?"
That sounds great, guys. I love it.
Johnson or Thought Daughter, man.
Is this Mar, Shull, or Kung?
Doesn't make any sense.
It's giving Kung.
No offense, but no one even knows who these people are, man.
Not it's giving Kung.
Why do we keep making inside jokes for 10 people at
Is
most?
it N-ness or S?
We're not tossing into the Kung bucket.
Oh my
Man.
god.
Not yesterday. You got a bad ankle.
Oh,
Not
poor
many
guy.
buckets.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm happy we went around the NBA a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
we're
fun,
just
man.
doing-
we
we're
didn't
just
talk about
doing-
Raptors today, man.
We're
It's
just
good.
doing 2-hour pods now.
I know.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. Honestly, we're just hanging out. And I'm hoping that's the vibe people get. One night, they listen, they enjoy, they have a couple of laughs. Go see Sinners. We'll talk about it more maybe next week, when everyone has gotten more of a chance to see it. But yeah, for myself, Will, for Alex Wong, for Jerome Chang, this has been the Hello Welcome podcast.
Tobias
presented by
Harris
That Way.
versus Chris Paul.
Yeah, let us know actually in the comments, man. Would you rather be Tobias Harris or Chris Paul?
My
man?
butt is hovering over end stream right now, guys.
That stream, man. God.